Let me know.
From the Gettysburg Museum of History Studios, high atop Baltimore Street, in a maximum security facility complete with central air, it's AG Today.
Hi, this is Matthew Leach. I played First Sergeant Talbot in Band of Brothers.
Hi, this is licensed battlefield guide Paul Bailey.
Hi, I'm Dale Fetzer.
Hi, I'm John Rothman.
Hi, this is Bo Brinkman.
Hi, this is Anthony Bordner. I'm a huge fan of Dressing Gettysburg. It is the greatest and most quality podcast ever. And you're listening to it right now. God, you're so lucky.
Don't ever go on America Got Talent. You won't make it.
Did you say Abe Lincoln?
Never fight uphill, me boys. Never fight uphill.
Don't give them
3rd
fuel.
Battalion, 3rd Marine Infantry Regiment.
I could house that load.
You're listening to Addressing Gettysburg
today.
Where did this idea come from?
Came from the depths of hell, Cameron. From the depths of hell.
Which is where we're currently living.
Which is where we are right now. It's 900 degrees outside.
Molten lava is raining from the sky.
It is like the home of Beelzebub. Hot. Hot as hell. But you know what? I ain't complaining. You know why I ain't complaining?
Why ain't you complaining?
Because all winter long I bitch about the cold.
Oh, man. I would rather be freezing cold.
Ugh, you're nuts.
Than warm.
You're nuts.
I just become...
You're nuts.
An evil, mean...
In the heat?
Crazy person, yes.
Well, maybe you shouldn't wear sweaters.
It's
You're wearing
not
a sweater. What is it?
It's
Let me feel it.
Short sleeve
Let me
knit
feel.
top.
Yeah, knit. It's a sweater.
It's not a sweater.
That looks hot.
You try to find clothing for women of my size that...
I've got a whole closet full of it at home.
Of clothing for women my
What's
size?
that called?
That's definitely a sweater.
Thank you, Colby.
And hot.
Colby's back, ladies and
Because
gentlemen.
I'm gonna take that from a bunch of guys.
Yeah, we know fashion.
Because he beat me to the punch.
Women's fashion, yeah.
Hot's better than cold, by the way.
Thank you. Because you could go outside without bundling up and shivering and cracking your teeth.
Doesn't bother me
You
at
get
all.
a suntan.
You can get a tan. That's right. You can get a
I
tan.
get a sunburn.
You can go swimming in the reservoir
I hate swimming.
right by the no swimming sign.
I hate it.
I love it. Beautiful green trees and grass the way it's supposed to be.
There is
The
nothing
smell of honeysuckle in the
better.
air.
All we're missing is barbecue, bro.
No.
Brah.
I'll tell you what's even better than
Nah,
that.
brah.
When you're out and it's like on one of those cold, crisp days where everything just smells good, and then you hear the trees going and they're like making that...
Like an early fall day.
kinda-
Or like an early, like with the first
there snow on
cold.
the
Yeah.
ground?
First
Is there
chill.
snow?
Yeah.
Oh, man. There's nothing better than that.
Is it with snow in your imagination?
Sometimes.
That's
You're
disgusting.
yucking my yum, dude.
You're what?
Yucking my yum.
So what? 30-something?
You said I'm so 30-something.
You're yucking my
I
yum.
stole that from my 20-something-year-old wife, though, so I think it's a younger
Yeah, no,
thing.
that's definitely a their generation thing. Yucking my
She says
yum.
it to me all the time, you know?
See, that's why everybody under that age should be shot. Because it's...
Hey!
What?
That's not nice.
Well, I mean, it's just yucking my yum. What the hell is that? Do we need that? I don't think we need that.
Listen,
It's kinda
our
cute when
parents
she
felt
says
the
it.
exact same thing about the things that we said when we
No,
were
of
little.
course. And we said a lot of stupid things, too, but nothing
Yeah.
like yucking my yum.
Like,
we said cool,
bodacious, babe.
totally tubular.
Anything that was
Brah.
said by Michelangelo on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was dumb.
That's where we got a lot of our slang.
Yes.
That's where I got all my slang.
Yeah. Let's see. What did we
Cowabunga,
say?
bro.
Cowabunga.
Cowabunga. What did we say in the 90s that was stupid?
Eat my shorts.
Eat my shorts.
I grew
Cowabunga.
up
A lot of Bart Simpson
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah. That's Pete Mealy here, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very sad news, as you know. I read on the show last week. The great Peter Mealy is leaving us for greener pastures. Literally,
still
he's going to be a
living in
dairy
the
farmer.
area.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, he'll still be around.
So we'll
So
still get
we'll
to
still
see
see
you and throw
You'll be
things
so
at
sick
you.
of me.
Yeah.
You'll be praying for me to actually leave. Because now I'll have no outlet.
Oh, no.
At least now that I'm still working, I have an outlet for my craziness.
Well, you won't have that at the new job?
Oh, maybe I will. I don't know.
What is the new job? Explain it to us.
So it's Susquehanna National Heritage Area.
All right.
Which was the 55th National Heritage Area in the United States.
Okay.
And at the end of last year, they purchased a 94-acre piece of property along the Susquehanna River. And
all right.
It was an Underground Railroad site. It was the site of Gordon's artillery position during the battle at Wrightsville. And I'm going to be the project manager to turn it into a visitor center and historic park.
Awesome.
Nice.
So now what do you have to do as the project manager?
Everything. Help secure funding, help with the interpretive plan, manage the construction project. So it's going to be a lot of traffic cop sort of thing,
Okay.
just kind of managing all of the pieces.
And then what happens when that's done? Then what's your position?
I don't know. It's going to be a 5 to 10 year project.
Oh,
yeah. It's
wow.
It's going to be it's a long. I've
This
heard
isn't an overnight project.
No. So it's all told, it's going to be north of $20 million. Probably even closer to 30.
Wow.
So there is funding that's already in place, but there's a lot more funding that needs to occur. And there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of pieces. There's going to be access to the river, so if people want to put their kayaks or canoes in, do that. And there's a significant art component, too. I didn't know this, and probably a lot of people don't know, and even more people aren't going to care. But many people have heard of the Hudson River School of Art.
Oh, yeah.
I
was just talking about that with Wendy Allen a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. Well, it started as the Susquehanna River School of Art.
I did not know that.
There was a school of art or a style of art that started on the Susquehanna River and actually predated the Hudson River. And there are paintings that still exist. And
New York's always stealing from Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah. And so there's going to be these paintings still exist and are going to be incorporated into this project.
So that's cool.
It's going to be a combination of art, history, and nature.
So it's a 5 to 10 year project
to get this all built and open and everything.
Will it open in phases though, or is it going to not be open for 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, no, it's probably going to be a phased project. The first phase is paths and walking trails on the property, and then it sort of goes from there. I'm not exactly sure, what the overall plan.
He hasn't even started yet, Matt.
Right.
I know. I'm surprised that I know as much as I do, and I could be saying what I could be saying is entirely wrong. But this is what I've picked. We've talked about during interviews, and if you go online, you can read about the project on snha.org. I think.
Is this all primarily in York County, Dauphin County?
York. So the Susquehanna National Heritage Area is York and Lancaster counties, so it's both sides of the river.
Oh, nice.
And they manage a site in Columbia. There's a Columbia Crossing Visitor Center if you've ever been to Columbia, Pennsylvania. And so they manage that. But they've got most of their operations are in Wrightsville.
Okay.
And this is going to be like, they've been doing some, projects. They've been around for about 20 years, this organization. But this is kind of the biggest project that they've ever taken on. And really cool thing that they've done is in 2021-22, they purchased a 1912 wooden electric boat that was owned by Adolphus Busch of the Busch Beer Company. And it was up in Cooperstown in Otsego Lake, which is the headwaters of the Susquehanna. And they brought it down to Wrightsville, and now they run tours out of Wrightsville on this.
Oh, I didn't know they.
Absolutely beautiful, gorgeous wooden Elko boat.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to go on. I've never been on a wooden boat.
Mm-hmm.
Are you very familiar with Wrightsville?
No, I've been through it.
There's a restaurant
on the way to
there
elsewhere
called the John Wright Restaurant. And they do like wood fire pizza and stuff like that. It's very good.
And there's also a place called the Burning Bridge Tavern that's really good.
Yes,
they have
really
barbecue. Yeah.
So you're on to bigger. I wouldn't say bigger, better things, but you're on to other things. New things.
I would say other. I mean, it's bigger. Yes,
yeah.
it is. And so I've been where I am for 11 years. Just past 11 years last month. Can you believe that?
That's crazy.
And it opened how many years ago?
2013.
2013.
So
okay. So you were there from the beginning.
I started working there in May of 2013, so about 6 weeks before the museum opened.
Okay.
And when did you graduate from SHIP?
May of 2014, so about a year later.
Okay. I feel like that was 700 years ago.
Yeah. Sometime
know,
in the last decade.
Yeah, we were in school together. Did you know that?
And actually, remember when we met? We met up in the attic. I gave you and your mother a cupola tour.
Yes, indeed.
And we were talking, and you said,
Sounds
"Oh, I'm
dirty.
going."
Yeah.
Wait, so what school did you go to together?
SHIP.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you meet at school, or did you just
No.
find out later that you went to the same school?
No. We met in the cupola tour.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden I show up for the first day of classes, and you were already a couple semesters in.
But I think that you had already been accepted there because we talk about it?
Maybe.
I think we talked because that probably would have been summer of 2013.
Yeah.
And maybe you were starting the following spring or something,
Yes.
and because we only had one class together. That was
Yes.
my last semester and your first semester, I think.
That crazy class. We had that project with the
Historic preservation.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
the worst.
Oh.
It's one of those projects where you're like, why am I doing this? Oh, right, for a degree.
Yeah, well, that was what I called college. So Rich Snyder says, hope to run into Pete in his new job over here in York County. Great history regarding the burning of the bridge in Wrightsville. 2 good places to eat, the burning bridge and John Wright. There you go. And about our question before about the 90s people, what did we say? Bite me.
Right. Talk to the hand.
Talk to the hand because the face don't want to hear it.
That one was.
Let's see. Colby Whippersnapper. Let's see. Love Matt's El Guapo quote. It's a sweater.
Shut up, all of you. Not a sweater.
Let's see here. What was I saw a couple other ones. Now I can't find them. Anyway. Oh, like literally. Yeah, that's something that drives me nuts. And now literally is just so overdone. Like and literally are both. And I feel like it really wasn't it wasn't the 90s kids. It was the 80s kids. The Valley Girl.
Oh my God.
Like really, like.
But literally has kind of come back because of Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
But I was actually, I can't remember who it was, but there were a couple of it was a book of Civil War letters that I was going through one time, and I noticed, and it wasn't the same person, and they used the word literally the way we do now. I mean, not as much as we do, but it was used incorrectly back then too. So nothing's new under the sun.
No,
nothing's new. Nothing's new. But you know what is new? Is the little ground top, by the way. I have to thank everybody for buying them. It's flying off the shelves. I stopped in there the other day, and Alex, one of the owners, I said, I hear we're selling. And she goes, yeah, like really well.
Good. And
online too. And I've been in there. Cindy and I went in one time, and there were only a couple bags left. Like the whole top shelf and this one bookshelf was full of them, and there were 4 left. And then last weekend, those people who, paid a lot of money for airline tickets and hotels to come to the Get Out of the Car tour, much to their disappointment. They were milling about, and they went in there, and Joe Denise texted me, and he said that he bought a bag, and then our friend Karen came in and while he was there, and she bought a bag, and then he said some random person I don't know bought 2.
Hey.
So there you go. And they're saying that out of all of their bags of coffee, those are the ones that are selling the best.
Awesome.
According to, that wasn't Alex that said that, that was the barista who actually does the purchasing or the transactions. So thank you to everybody who's ordering them. I mean, I'm hearing a lot from people about it. They love the flavor of the coffee. Somebody, and I want to say it was, I don't want to say because I can't remember the name, but it was somebody who texted me. So it might have been Dustin Wise or somebody. I don't know, but they sent, doesn't matter. They sent, well, it does to them, but it doesn't matter to you.
Yeah, no.
They sent me a screenshot of an online order that they had made for around $50. And he said, I got my dad and my brother into this too.
Hey.
So, I mean, it is working, and it is, I'll tell you what, it's not just because of the very clever name by Colby.
Oh, geez.
It's because it's delicious coffee, and of course, everybody loves the jingle.
I'm glad it's kicking butt, dude. That's exciting.
It is exciting. It is. Well, you know what? Coffee. People love coffee.
Yeah, people love coffee.
It's America, man. You
it's
can't
America.
not love coffee.
You can't not love it.
Just
That's
a
our drink.
weirdo.
Yes.
That I don't like it at all.
Yeah, you're
Yes.
very weird.
You don't like coffee?
At all.
So let me be honest. I really don't like coffee unless I can heavily doctor it. Then I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. But the problem is I don't eat sugar anymore. So I put heavy cream in it,
No.
Yes.
which is really good, though. It's really good. It's really good.
If you drank black a few days in a row, you.
Oh yeah, no,
like it.
I drink it black too, but and it's not as bad. I don't drink it for the flavor. I drink it for the effect. However, little ground top in a Francais press, very delightful.
You know what? One of the best things about coffee, honestly, is the smell of it when you get it.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
When you get
Yeah.
it next to your face, you know.
Oh, I know.
Take that sip.
That's like, that is waking up in the morning.
It makes me miss
Yeah.
smoking cigarettes. I'm gonna be honest. Every time,
Why?
every time that thing gets next to my lip, I'm like,
Yep.
God dang it!
Yeah, you need to have a cigarette with the coffee.
If you've never
What?
had that combo, then you just don't understand.
Yeah,
It's,
the
it's a different ball game.
the 3 S's: coffee, cigarette, and poop.
The 3 S's.
Yeah, every morning you do your 3 S's:
Wow.
coffee, cigarette, dropping a deuce. That's what
definitely
you do.
to follow. That's definitely to follow.
It's coffee and cigarettes were a great, not like Money and Cigarettes, the wonderful band from the 1990s.
Let me tell you something that kept my morale high.
Money and Cigarettes?
After many nights of misery.
What do you mean?
In the Marine Corps. Coffee
Oh,
cigarette in the morning.
Oh, wait, how far are we in?
Wait,
How long has this been playing?
We're like not even 15 minutes in there.
You guys are.
Oh no, wait, it's not that one. It's this one.
Hey, did you know Colby was in the Marines? 3rd Battalion and 3rd Regiment, it seems. An only child, but his twin is sometimes here.
The battalion, 3rd Marine Infantry Regiment.
To Jeremy McNair.
I was in a weapons platoon.
Say hello to Jeremy McNair.
How's that love?
He was a Mordor man. 3rd Battalion, 3rd Marine Infantry Regiment, 3-3.
Yeah, they're great songs. The Walk Tallers. They're just fantastic.
Those boys and gals get down.
So Mattmas Day was on Father's Day.
Right.
And I was at the therapist this morning, and I said, my birthday was on Sunday. And she goes, so was mine. And I go, no kidding. So you know the pain of having to share it with Father's Day.
Oh, dude, I didn't know. Happy birthday.
Yeah, I know you didn't know.
I didn't.
Oh, yeah. I know you
did
didn't know
and
either.
I totally forgot.
Yeah.
I'll
But
make it
in
And I
my
texted you
defense-
about being on the show on Sunday, and I didn't
You
say
did.
happy
Well, I'm
birthday.
not going to say, hey, it's my birthday.
I would have. In my defense.
I would have.
It's also
yeah, I didn't get
Dad's
one from
birthday.
you.
It's also Dad's birthday, and
That's
that
right.
took up my entire conscious.
It's a very
effort.
popular day to have a child. And so anyway, poor Cindy. I gotta give her some sympathy here.
Were you all melancholic and just?
Yeah, I was
to
like,
deal
she's
with?
like, "What do you want to do for your birthday?" And I'm like,
Get
hide in
hearing
a
aids.
closet. And
Get hearing aids?
What?
Huh?
Yeah, I said, could you get me hearing aids? No, I was like, honestly, I want to just be alone and shut myself out from the world for a day. This is my day to reflect on the last year and hide away from everybody. And she's like, well, you don't want to do anything? I'll do whatever you want. And I'm like, so we ended up coming in here and working. Because I couldn't stop thinking about how much work I need to do by July 1st. And to me, sitting around on a Sunday, I don't care if it's my birthday, it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, you know what? You want to do what I want to do? Let's come in here and work. And so we came in, and I needed her help. I said, I need to record a narration for something, and I need you to be there. If I miss a word, if I, stumble or so, it just doesn't sound, I need you to stop me and correct me. And then about halfway through the reading, I said, I got to rewrite this whole goddamn thing. So then I sat down and started rewriting, and it's just never ending. I'm going to have I've scheduled a nervous breakdown for July 5th.
You said.
Yeah.
I'm
That's how those
concerned that you
narratives go.
schedule them.
Yeah. What?
I'm concerned that you scheduled.
Well, it's, basically, I'm saying July 5th at the earliest. Remember when the park was closing Little Round Top and they said, but no earlier than or no later than. I'm going to say that. No earlier than July 5th.
You have boundaries.
Can I have a nervous breakdown?
You have boundaries. You have a set date timeline.
Yeah.
What's the end?
I got too much to do before the 1st.
What's the end date? We got the beginning date.
July 31st. I'm giving myself 3 weeks. I'm going to go to some, spa up in the middle of the mountains, some kind of natural spring. I'm going to take the waters, exactly.
Go to Saratoga Springs.
Yeah, I'll probably literally just find a spring in the middle of the woods and just curl up next to it and sit there and hope that I don't starve to death or get eaten by a bear.
We'll go shooting. We'll get some of that.
Probably not a good idea to probably buy a gun.
You just use mine. I'll let you use mine.
That's not the point. Yeah.
We took Dad to Lake Tobias where several animals tried to eat him.
Tobias F.U.N.K.? Tobias
spear him with their horn.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Like billy goats?
Oh, no,
goats?
they have a longhorn.
Oh.
Texas longhorn.
Just roaming around Lake Tobias.
They do a
Did he come in the bus? Did it come on the bus?
A safari.
The longhorn?
The longhorn came up to the bus and it started going like this.
Oh, jeez.
And Dad was like, "Whoa."
Those horns are actually really long.
They are.
They're huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's right there in the name.
Yeah. It's got like a 30-foot
They're now called a Texas
horn
huge
span.
longhorn.
Well, they grow. I mean, everything American gets bigger. So
that's what she said.
Yes. Now, speaking of Westerns, what's his name? Kevin Costner's big Western Horizon is coming out, and we're all very excited about this.
Matt and I have been texting each other. It's like little girls, just
like,
all excited
God,
about
he looks so cute in his uniform.
Wait, what's happening?
Yeah,
Kevin Costner has the first of what will be 4 movies, feature-length movies in a series. It's a series of Westerns called Horizon.
It is 4? It's a 4-part?
Yeah,
I didn't know if it was 3 or 4.
I was watching an interview with him today, and he said he's got 1 and 2 in the can. He's shooting 3, and then he'll shoot 4, and those will be out.
Starring, directing?
Yeah.
Starring, directing.
And financing.
Financing it. $38 million of his own money he put into this. But you know what? I have a feeling for the guy that I think this is going to be a success. And it'll be 38 well spent. No, not
Waterworld. Or the Postman.
If you build it, they will come.
The Postman.
Postman's good.
I like that
I
movie.
do. I enjoy the Postman. There's a little bit of like a renegade cowboy feel to it.
It's definitely a Western. It also kind of gives me an idea of like what things might be like, I don't know, early next year. Huh?
Tom Petty's in, like, he has a cameo.
Yes, he has a cameo.
It's the one where he's a postman.
Well, I thought, listen, you.
I've been gone a while. I got to get him in while I can.
Yeah, that's right. Tom Petty is in that, and
Or is he in Waterworld?
No, it's the postman because
I just remember
he
there
says
being
to
water.
him, he's like,
"You look familiar."
You look familiar. He's like, "Yeah, it was somebody or something like." Yeah, he was like the mayor of the village or whatever.
Yeah,
Tom Petty, the late great Tom Petty, dead at the age of 64. So, Now, do you like Westerns, Pete Mealy?
I don't.
Whoa! You just got a serious.
I know.
Meh.
Well, I don't not like them, but that's not my first. Your choice.
go-to.
What genre of Western do you like more, the John Wayne or the Clint Eastwood genres?
The Mel Brooks.
That's a good answer.
That is a good answer.
I like it.
Did you ever see Jiminy Glick interview Mel Brooks? And he goes, "What's your big beef with the Nazis?"
They're mean. Doesn't he say they're not nice or something?
Yes.
You should do a whole show. It's just as a Jiminy Glick character.
Oh, I love Jiminy Glick.
But instead of Jiminy Glick, be
Wendell Clarkson. Wendell's not as funny as Jiminy Glick.
But you could make it like serious.
We should make a new character that combines Jiminy Glick with Harry Carey. I think that would be a good character right there. Full of laughs.
Think of how that works.
So Harry Carey's like, "Hey,
if you were a hot dog."
Oh yeah. If you were a hot dog, if I were a hot dog, I'd smother myself in relish. No, what is it?
I know. I think it's smother myself in mustard.
But what if the moon is made of cheese?
Hey, if the moon were made of cheese, would you eat it? I know I would.
I know I would. And then you mix that with Jiminy Glick. I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah.
There would be no way to make...
Because Jiminy Glick he's low sometimes, but then he gets up really high.
That
Why would you want to be a cheerleader, Steve Martin?
That'd be like you just have to play with the dynamics, you know? When you get excited, you're Jiminy Glick. When you're really trying to think of what you want to say, you could pop over to Harry Carey a little bit.
Well, Jiminy Glick, actually, he's got a good thinking. He goes, you were in Escape from New York. You know, he'll do something like that. I used to have a Jiminy Glick thing on here. I don't think I do anymore. Anyway, why were we talking about Jiminy Glick? What was
Westerns.
Westerns. How we got there?
Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. So yeah.
Apparently, there's going to be a sequel to Spaceballs too.
What?
Yeah, I hope not.
You know
Why would you want to be a cheerleader, Steve Martin?
There you go.
You know who's made a very good Western is the Coen brothers with their remake of True Grit was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I like it better than the original, and that's saying a lot.
Wait. Hold on. We have a call. Yes, caller, you're on the air.
Hi, this is 2006 calling. We'd like our topic of discussion back.
Was that the topic of discussion in 2006?
That movie's been out for 20 years.
Hey, well, we're talking about old movies right now.
Oh, no, we're talking about Horizon.
And you were asking if he liked Westerns, and I was just saying, as far as Clint Eastwood, John Wayne, Mel Brooks, Coen brothers should be in the conversation, too, because they did a good job.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Gettysburg. Wow.
All right, so
We're
listen.
changing all of our promos to that.
We have. You should.
I know, right?
You really should.
Gettysburg. Wow.
Gettysburg. Well, you'll alienate half the country though if you do that. Or won't you? See, that might work both ways because it's like mocking.
But then people will think that we're honoring, and people will think we're
right,
mocking, and it's
right. So it's kind of win-win. I think you should do that.
Something we can all get behind.
I think we can.
We're looking for that common ground.
Exactly. Peter, are you going to miss us? I know you're not moving away, but are you going to miss the community?
Next question. No.
No, seriously. Yes, of course you
Of course
will.
I am. That's the right answer, right?
Of course. That is the right
it's one of the reasons that we're not moving is because we do like this community, and
that's a long drive for you, though.
It is. It's going to be just over an hour.
You won't have to go every day, right?
I'm not sure yet,
Okay.
but my whole life I've lived within 10 minutes of my job, so I've been spoiled.
So now you want to, Most people would call you lucky.
Yes.
But you feel that you have to self-flagellate now and drive over an hour because you've had it easy so far.
Yeah. So now I'm going to join the rest of the working.
We'll see how long that lasts.
See what everybody's complaining about.
I used to commute from York.
Well, you were young, right?
Yeah, but there are many different ways of getting where you need to go. If you ever need some directions, you let me know.
And I think that living and working in the same community is a little tough sometimes because you're always
you're never
and it's not like I'm gonna go take this new job and nobody's gonna remember me here.
Right.
Maybe they will. I don't know.
Right. No, we'll remember
Steve
you.
Sims who?
That's different.
Yeah.
That's different.
He wasn't here. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to still being involved in the community and going to Ragged Edge. I need to keep Jake's profit margins up at Ragged Edge. So
yeah, well, we'll keep that going too because Jake does a great job with Ragged Edge and with his catering and everything else. Now, what happened to? Are we? Is it you?
Wow.
Are Rob and Cody going to carry
keep it up? Yeah.
Keep up the. We're supposed to do trivia in August.
I'm hoping. I mean, it's
the original Getty's Nerd Trivia is supposed to be in August. Repeat from February.
It's really going to be up to them. We are having an interim leadership team come in. Two of our board members are going to be taking my spot, so we need 2 people to replace me, which is pretty cool.
Wow!
But they're going to be doing it halftime. So
wow,
it's going to be a learning curve for everybody. It's things are going to be fine. But we're wondering, with one person out. With me out, like how we put on all the programs that we do. So we might scale back a little bit, but not that.
Well, I volunteer my services if they need help with something, like getting that all together.
And I'm going to stay.
Well, when I say volunteer my services, I mean Bethany and Cindy
for money. And
No, I'll volunteer them.
And I want to.
Sorry, Cole. Go ahead, Cole.
I was just going to say, as long as it doesn't involve him having to do manual labor.
Yeah.
Get all the help in the world.
I can put it over there, Beth.
No, pick it up. Bring it back over here.
Bring it back over this way, Cindy. Cindy, will you help Beth lift that table and move it? Yep, that's it. Stop. Nope, back.
And every day when the cameras aren't on.
Oh, this has been a rough day. Let's go get some food.
Yeah, I was so tired watching you.
I don't see this as different than any other
That's
day.
absolutely right. Well, listen, here's what we're going to do, okay? We have a guest. His name is Scott English. He owns a place called the Gettysburg Academy. Have you heard of it? Of course you have. It's this awesome
I
house.
passed the new sign. The new sign is up.
Yeah, the new sign.
Oh, I didn't know they had a new sign.
They do, because I
exciting.
saw it on the way here.
Okay, very good. And it's really just literally right around the corner from where we are right now. Beautiful house. So I hear. I haven't been in it. Because I haven't been invited. But you can do things there. I mean, let's see. Let me just give you a couple of ideas. First of all, it's a bed and breakfast. It's a 5-room bed and breakfast. And it sits on a full acre. What is that? ACRE.
Acre.
Oh, that's how you spell it. Okay. A full acre. And you got a tea room there. We're going to talk about all of this stuff. But the very first thing we have to do, though, is go for a break. Now,
It has a connection to the seminary. Do you know that?
Yeah, it was the original.
Yep.
And it was also the original college, was it not?
Yep. I'm sure you get into that, but I
we'll get into
didn't
that,
want to
I'm sure.
leave without having...
Now, are you going to leave or are you going to join us for dinner or do you have to go home? Why don't you get Kara and come out to dinner with us tonight?
Let me see what she's up to.
See what she's up to, and if she wants to join us, hopefully she's not cooking something for you already. Just tell her you said, you
Tell
know
her to
what?
stop
Throw it
baking.
away. I just don't want you to get rusty. Throw it away, and and we're going out to
Maybe
dinner
she's
with the
making
guys.
cookies. I don't know.
Oh,
Little
well, then
cookies
bring
and
the
then-
cookies.
Yeah, bring
She's
any
a wonderful
cookies that
cookie
she's
maker.
making.
Yeah.
Fantastic cookie maker, or as they say in Germany, cookie macher. All right, so we're going to take a break. And when we come back, Scott English will join us. And who knows what fun and frivolity awaits after that. We'll be right back after these words.
Aren't you glad you used Dial? We are too. We'll be right back.
Why would you want to be a cheerleader, Steve Martin?
Hey, Getty's nerds. 2024 is shaping up to be a fun year for Addressing Gettysburg, and we want you to join us. Our Get Out of the Car tours, put together and led by licensed battlefield guide Louis Trott, kick off in April and will be available at a later date for the first time ever on our YouTube channel. Speaking of our YouTube channel, Gettysburg National Military Park's Winter Lecture Series is available exclusively over there from January through March. So be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss a single one. We have much more in the works, so be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and now for free on Patreon. We hope to get to meet and spend time with many of you this year as we spread the word about the Battle of Gettysburg and the Civil War. Help us teach the masses that history is not boring. Movies and documentaries about history are spread out across the internet, and their quality is often suspect. History Fix delivers curated historic programming to your preferred device using their website or branded apps. Join History Fix for movies, documentaries, short films, and how-tos. Addressing Gettysburg podcast fans receive 20% off their first annual subscription. So what are you waiting for? Sign up at www.historyfix.com and use promo code ADGBURG. That's ADGBURG.
This episode of Addressing Gettysburg is brought to you in part by me, audiobook narrator Mike Scott, narrator of Savis Beattie's Bloody Autumn, the Shenandoah Valley Campaign of 1864, and Unlike Anything That Ever Floated, the Monitor and Virginia and the Battle of Hampton Roads. If you are an author or publisher interested in having your titles produced as audiobooks, or even just in learning more about the process, give me a shout. You can find my contact info on my website, MikeScottVoice.com. That's MikeScottVoice.com.
Want the freshest cup of coffee in Gettysburg? Then visit Bantam Roasters, formerly 82 Cafe at 82 Steinware Avenue. They roast all of their coffee in-house, and they have a full coffee bar to keep you caffeinated during your trip. Visit them at www.raggededgerc.com for their menu and shipping options for all of their freshly roasted coffee. Use promo code Hancock for 10% off your order in the cafe.
And Civil War Trails. It's the world's largest open-air museum, and they offer over 1,300 sites across 6 states. Drive the Gettysburg campaign turn by turn, paddle to Frederick Douglass's birthplace, or hike to remote earthworks and artillery positions. Visit civilwartrails.org to request a brochure and explore their interactive map. Follow Civil War Trails and create some history of your own.
You're listening to the Addressing Gettysburg podcast with Matt Callery. Gettysburg's first and premier podcast about living in and visiting Gettysburg has returned from that long commercial break. Thanks for sticking around. Here's Matt.
Oh, thank you. All right. So, Scott English, ladies and gentlemen, is our guest right now. He's the fourth generation owner of the Gettysburg Academy property. He's also known as it's also known as the Haunted House on the Corner. He's a Weikert from Greenmount and Hanover, PA. On his mother's side, Harrisburg/Shamokin, and Chickies Rock on his father's side. Chickies Rock, never heard of that one.
Rock. Never heard of Chickies Rock?
No, you know where that is?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know all those weird places.
I used to live over in
Chickies Hollow.
Over in that neck of the woods.
Okay. And then the Gettysburg Academy, as I said before, it's a historic five-bedroom bed and breakfast 2 blocks from the square in Gettysburg. Sits on almost a full acre of tranquil green. And you can host an outdoor or indoor event at the property. And they've got Jane's Tea Room, monthly tea held on site. And it can accommodate up to 30 people. July tea is sold out, but they're taking reservations for August 18th and Septiembre 22nd. That's Spanish for September 22nd. Reservations are required, so you can call the Academy 717-334-0224. We'll give you that again at the end. Scott, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Scott, let me just make sure your camera is there. There you go.
Oh, there you are.
There's
Hi.
much better.
Me.
So, Scott, you what was it before it became the Gettysburg Academy again?
My parents lived there from the mid-'90s. They redid the building in 95 and put it central air conditioning and did a major renovation. My great-grandfather had done a major renovation back in 1932 when he originally purchased it, and he made half of it a motel. He lived on one half with his wife, Isabel, and then his son, and then his daughter, my Aunt Ruth and Harold, who had the shoe store down on Chambersburg Street, and they lived there before my parents did.
Okay. And so you get it and you decide you're going to turn it into something.
Well, I never planned on getting into the hospitality industry, but I love it. It's it's such a iconic structure in Gettysburg with so much history. Deb and I, my mom, I retired early from work and took family medical leave to help come up and take care of Mom. Mom's now in Cross Keys. And my brothers and I have 3 brothers. I really never thought about owning the building, but as we spent more time with Mom and helping Mom at the building, we decided to, Deb and I, my wife, decided to take a run at, doing a bed and breakfast. And with such a nice open yard, it's probably one of the largest expanses of green yard in the borough.
Yeah.
True story.
It seems like, that neighborhood is traditionally, Hankey Brothers store was across the street, Calvin's Barber Shop.
Right.
It's kind of like the gateway to the 3rd Ward.
Yeah.
Lawyers Row was right across the street where Sally Myers lived during the battle. I just thought it'd be nice to, after being closed basically to the public for 140 years, to open the property up and let people enjoy, learn about the history and the ties that building and structure have to the community, to the Lutheran Seminary, to Gettysburg College. It was built as Adams County's first public school when it was originally constructed by the state of Pennsylvania. And probably the most notable person associated with that building is Thaddeus Stevens.
What are some of the interesting features, perhaps, that people, especially history nerds, would find particularly interesting about the place? Any battle damage or anything?
It's one of 9 structures that still has it has a reed shell in the front of the building. So it's one of 9 documented structures that have a artillery shell from the battle.
Okay.
So that is still there. There's pictures of the building from 1885, which we have inside, that actually show that shell. It's right on the 2nd floor.
Yeah. Is it over the left door? Is that right? There's 2 doors in the front. Right?
And the building always had 2 doors. My great-grandfather moved, as you face the building, he moved the left door 1 window over to really make it feasible as a motel on one side and a living structure on right. But because the original porch, if you look at the 1885 picture, the 2 doors were closer together, but it still had 2 doors under a single porch. You're correct. The shell is kind of halfway between the 2 porticos.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and then we closed the one shutter to the window so you can actually see the shell.
What? So do you have it separated that way, where one side is the B&B and the other side is living quarters? How do you have it set up now?
Well, my great-grandfather did that in 1932, and we, in 94, 95, my dad and I and my brothers, we opened it back up into one big building again. I've never been able to find a floor plan from when the building was originally constructed. In the history of Gettysburg College, they talk about that structure having 4 rooms, so I'm thinking 2 down, 2 up. That building, actually, as big as that building is, which is 32 by 70, there was a 2-story wooden addition at one point. If you look back at the old Sanborn fire maps, there was a 2-story addition off the back of that building, back towards Wall Alley. So it's had many different configurations over the years. But yeah, we opened it back up in the mid-'90s to facilitate my dad and mom living there, and just, it was kind of stuffy. I mean, I've been going there since I was born.
Right.
I remember hanging out watching Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer in my grandpa's living room,
nice.
Black and white.
Right.
So
that was just his house. He didn't have a business out of it or anything back then?
No, I'm actually the first one to actually put it back into a commercial state.
Really?
My one of the pictures I brought is actually of the Tourist Home Motel, which is what my great-grandparents called it. My great-grandmother Isabel ran the motel.
That's so cool. I think it's so cool that you can trace that.
Talking about this one here, right?
Correct. So that's a postcard of when the building was the motel.
Trying to get the glare. That's not it. It's easier said than done. Let's see. How about that?
Yeah, there you
go. As close as we're going to get, folks.
And you can see when my great-grandfather, he actually, when he bought it at a sheriff's sale in 1932, the roof was caved in.
Oh, my God.
And so that's a brand new roof.
Sheriff's sale.
Yeah, he bought it at a sheriff's sale. He did not put the cupola back on, because what new owner of a building that puts a new roof on is going to cut a hole in the roof.
Right.
So, in a brand new roof. And actually, he changed the pitch. The pitch was a little steeper. You can actually see in the attic. You can still see where he changed the brick supports. Anyway, my dad and I and my brothers, we made the cupola from pictures. We reconstructed the cupola in Maryland on a farm. We built it out of hemlock, which is probably what it was originally constructed of. And we cut the hole in the roof in 1994 and used a crane to put the cupola back up. And there's a little spiral staircase you can go up into the cupola.
But that was fun to build.
Oh, yeah, it was funny. We brought it up on the trailer, and it was a big... The Times had a picture on the front cover.
Oh, that's cool.
So I like that picture.
Who's this?
That has all 4 generations. I'm in the back seat. My grandfather, Harold, who had the shoebox on Chambersburg Street, and my mother are in the front seat. And my great-grandparents, Carl and Isabel, you can see Isabel's legs, are on the porch of the building.
Oh, yeah.
So there's all 4 generations.
That's amazing. I got to say, for someone who was young enough to be around when cars looked like that, you look pretty good for your age.
Thanks.
Do you want me to smack him when this is over?
No, actually, my great-grandfather...
He'll take the compliment.
Yeah, and I can take whatever
Yeah, right. So, going in it though today, so if we were to go into it today, I mean, you can have weddings there, right?
Yes, we're allowed to have up to 50 people on the first floor.
Okay.
And we can have up to 75 people in the yard for events.
And I
that's super cool.
You probably don't want to talk about it, but I seem to remember there was a little bit of a problem with that, right? When you were trying to get permission.
It was a little bit of a journey.
A journey.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Well,
it's very diplomatic.
It was a learning experience. It's an experience. I'm glad I went through it because I'm more, I like to ask permission instead of asking for forgiveness.
Oh, I prefer the forgiveness.
Yeah, and I didn't want it to be that guy that because my family's been here since 1926, and I have a very iconic property in town and just throw stuff up and start throwing parties. I didn't want to be that guy. So I went through the process. It was a learning experience, and I'm very glad we were successful. I've always wanted to do kind of high-end things in the building. I don't want to, there was some fear that I would be having frat parties there.
A kegger.
Like that. Right. No. I mean, I have too much.
Why would that be the fear?
Well, I guess
when you hear party or wedding, people automatically assume you're going to have
the chicken dance at midnight. No, it is, as I was talking before, it was Hanky Brothers store, Calvin's Barbershop, all kinds of businesses in that neighborhood. It has become more residential. There's still 4 churches on High Street. The There's a soup kitchen. There's a rehabilitation center on High Street. Those are my neighbors,
Mhm.
and I still do have some residential. So I don't want to be a black eye.
Sure,
on the
of
neighborhood.
course, yeah. It's a nice, quiet little neighborhood too.
It is a very nice, quiet.
Yeah.
But I also want to bring people to Ward 3. Ward 3, I think, is it's an awesome. I mean, I've talked to a lot of residents when we were getting petitions signed and introducing myself and kind of explaining what I was going to do. There was a neighbor that said that my grandfather used to let him and his friends come over and dig in the yard for night crawlers to go fishing. You know, I remember when H&H had their used car lot behind us, and there was the trailer park, and I mean, the neighborhood is vastly.
Where was the trailer park?
If you come up, turn off of Washington Street, come up Wall Alley towards this location.
Yeah.
Where that's now Patrick Alley.
Uh-huh.
Between High Street or Washington Street and Patrick Alley, right there was the trailer park.
Really?
And there was quite a bit of nefarious activity going on.
You can't imagine.
My great aunt used to. Oh, the trailer park on. Oh, it was. Yeah. So the neighborhood has changed a lot,
Sure.
and I just think that you know, not to change the character of the neighborhood. I'm trying to. What would I call it? What's the fancy state historic preservation office term? To adaptively reuse the property, retain the character.
Yeah.
And the bottom line is, you know, if you're not living in that building, that's the worst thing for an old building.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to sustain that building, I'm there every day.
Right.
You know, it depends on if I'm there for a half hour or I'm there for 12 hours. But to sustain that property, it's, you know, it's a 210-year-old brick structure.
You're 100% correct. If you don't do something with it, it's going to get torn down.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want it to
Rot.
regress back to, because seriously, it was when my great-grandfather bought it, my great-grandmother was not happy at all. He came home and said, well, I got the building. And she said, oh, that old place. Because they lived actually over on Baltimore Street. They had a bakery, Rooning's Pastry Shop at 31 Baltimore Street, which is right next to where the Fonostock House is.
Okay.
So there's that little parking space there. That used
Yeah.
to be a building. So
Okay.
31 Baltimore Street is where Rooning's Pastry Shop was. Then my grandfather opened up the Shoebox, which was also on Baltimore Street, and then they called it the Shoebox because it was so small. And then he moved over to number 7 Chambersburg Street, and then ended up right across from Christ Lutheran Church. That was the last location. I actually worked with him for 2 years back in the 80s. Again, my youth does not show in the photograph. But
Gonna say, that's like an 1880s car, not a 1980s car.
1916 Maxwell.
Is that what that was? That's
yeah.
cool.
My grandfather had that car. But no, there's just all kinds of Isabel. The Roonings that came here in 1926 were actually from Coudersport, from Potter County, and actually they lived on Dutch Hill. I have a picture of my great grandfather's father, Carl with a C, moved here. Carl with a K stayed in Potter County in Coudersport, and I have a picture of him, which my wife can't stand a picture, but it's one of those nice oval pictured with
the beveled glass.
Yeah, oh, it's awesome picture.
yeah.
And
They're
people are
held
like,
to dust,
who's
though.
that guy? I'm like, that's great grandfather Carl. Isabel and CC, Carl C, were married in Powder County and then moved down here in 1926. And I'm not sure why they moved here, because my grandfather Harold, their son, he went to Gettysburg College. He was actually the first college-educated Rooning.
Yeah.
So,
You know what you need to do?
what do I need to do?
You need to do an oral history of your family and stuff like that.
I need to keep researching. My dad was really into genealogy.
Yeah.
But all this stuff, I'm learning stuff about not only the property, but about my family through this research. And it's one of the really cool stories is when Eisenhower retired to Gettysburg, Isabel, my great-grandmother, the one that said, oh, that old place, she was his personal seamstress. So any alterations, repairs, or anything to his clothing, he came into the building at High Street. There's a story that, and this has been passed down, and I believe it because I don't think I ever heard my great-grandmother say more than 3 things like no, slow down, stop. But apparently Eisenhower, the Secret Service came to the building, to the academy, and said, Mrs. Rooney, you have to come with us. There's a clothing emergency situation. He's entertaining.
Wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah, he's out at the farm. And she said, if the general needs his clothes tended to, he'll come see me.
Whoa.
So they had to go out and fetch him and bring him back in.
Really?
So who tells, a retired president,
Yeah.
still the president, yeah, listen, I'm busy with salad here or something.
Today they would hit you over the head and drag
Take you.
Yeah.
Well, I still have her sewing machine.
That's cool.
So-
you need to do an oral history.
Yeah, you
Please
really do. So the school, when it was a school during the battle, is that the school Tilly Pierce went to?
Correct. Rebecca Eyster is the one that told the female students to run
Get the hell out. Yeah.
run home as quickly as you can. And I guess that was
Run, girls.
Yes. But yes, Tilly Pierce,
Flee.
among others, was the... And
Yeah.
Tilly Pierce and the other female students actually sang to the Union troops sitting on the fence there along Washington Street.
Okay, all right. So this is a report card from Rebecca Eyster's house, or school, right?
1861.
September 13th, 1861. What's the girl's name? Margaret...
Callahan? I didn't...
Carpenter?
Carpenter, I think.
Is that Carpenter?
Yeah, I think
okay. So let's see if we can see this here. It's you're obviously not going to see, but look at some of these subjects here. I mean, obviously attendance. She got a 99 in attendance, but it's a little blurry. I'll read them to you. Listen to that. Now I'm trying to what age would they be done with this? What does it go up to, like 13, 14?
I think so.
Okay. So by age 13. Let's see. There are, these are the classes. Attendance. Okay. Conduct. Fine. Spelling, reading, writing, arithmetic, algebra, geometry, geography, grammar, rhetoric, logic, composition, history, mental science, moral science, botany. Botany. Thank you. Natural philosophy, chemistry, geology, physiology, astronomy, and Latin.
That's cray.
By 14.
Well, I think maybe a little, because I think Tilly was
15.
older.
What? Okay, 15, 16. So up to high school? Maybe let's just say 18.
My favorite part.
People come out of college, they don't know half of those.
There's a little hand pointing. I don't know if you can see it. And then it says, the highest degree of attainment is indicated by 100. And the compiler printed it.
Yep.
It says compiler print.
Oh, that's cool. So they went over to the compiler to get the report cards printed.
I'm looking.
Yeah, but
Matthew,
you're not looking fast enough.
We had some history
She did really
tours
well.
during the Christmas festival 2 years ago. I had Charlie Fennell there and Deb Novotny.
Yep.
And they're awesome, both of them. I've known Mr. Fennell for years.
And you wanted him to come on with you, and he...
Well, I heard he has a rehearsal or something.
Yeah, something silly. I saw him on Monday, and I said, Charlie, don't forget, you're coming on the show on Thursday with Scott English. And he goes, oh, I have rehearsal. And I was like, I go, well, you're going to have to skip it because Scott won't come on if you don't. But he did send this message. Oh, my gosh. Oh, sorry. Wait. Here we go.
Hello, Dolly. Hello, Dolly.
There you go. That's it. That was Charlie Fennell.
He's awesome.
He is great.
Isn't he?
And Deb is too. I mean, the two of them, they're always like people that you go to when you want to know certain things, and you're pretty sure they're going to know them.
Yeah.
You know. So
They've
yeah.
got town nerdiness too.
Well,
they know a lot about the town.
And Deb's, her opinion is the intersection of High and Washington Street is one of the most significant intersections during the battle in the town. She was...
As far as the fighting is concerned, you mean? Wow.
Why?
That makes sense.
Well, and I didn't...
Wait, did you say middle or high?
No, high in Washington.
High in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
So high more than middle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which, and I don't know if Basil Biggs lived diagonal from the academy. He lived in that house next to the Ollinger house.
Yeah.
That's where Basil Biggs lived.
Okay.
And he actually reinterred because the academy was used as a hospital and not just like a recuperation. The side yard at the academy was used for burying bodies and body parts that didn't, and then Basil Biggs actually reinterred folks there to other cemeteries and the National Cemetery. But it's funny because a real dear friend of mine who recently passed away, he worked at the Horse Soldier, and he found these articles, and he said, do you know that the 150th Pennsylvania Regiment, Bucktails, their battle flag was captured on your front porch, and 2 soldiers were killed on your front porch?
Really?
Like, what? Of course, my parents never said anything.
Right.
I lived in the building for 2 years. My grandfather never said, "Oh, we got to be careful here with." But yeah, it's really cool because the North Carolina unit that well, it's not really cool. It's very sad. But the North Carolina unit that captured the flag on its way back to North Carolina didn't make it. And their dying wish was that battle flag, 150th Pennsylvania Regiment battle flag, be presented to Jefferson Davis. And we know it was because when Jefferson Davis was captured in Milledgeville, Georgia, he had that flag in his possession.
Yeah.
And yeah, I said something to Charlie. I was like, hey, did you ever hear a story about that flag? And before I could finish, he goes, oh, the one was captured on your front porch. I'm like, well, how come nobody... There's so much stuff in Charlie.
You need to download.
Yeah, there's so much stuff that he knows. And we have another point of kinship is he got his doctorate from West Virginia University, and that's where I got my forestry degree from. So for him to have studied, his doctorate is basically in the Battle of Gettysburg.
Yeah.
It's just awesome.
Yeah.
Plus, so anybody that comes to town, it's funny because, should I quit rambling on?
No, keep going.
So about 10 years ago, I had every other Friday off, and it was after my dad had passed away. So, I was coming up one Friday, my other brother was coming up another Friday, and each week. And I said something to Mom. I'm like, I've been coming to Gettysburg since I was born. I've never played tourist.
Yeah.
She goes, well, neither have I, Scott. I'm like, well, do you know a good guide we could just hire for the day and go get schooled up? Not that I was planning on moving here, but it's just something to do with Mom and whatever. She goes, oh, I know Charlie Fennell. I'll call him. I'm like, awesome, whatever. And so that's my first meeting or introduction to Charlie Fennell. And after that, he brings so much energy and passion to it. And it's not, history can be kind of
dry.
Yes. But
he makes it fun and interesting.
Awesome. So probably for my birthday and Mom's birthday, and mine's in June, Mom's in August, we'd go out for a day each birthday with Charlie for probably about 5 years. So it was awesome. One time, Charlie's like, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, I don't know, take us where nobody else wants to go. Let's just, let's find out some of the bizarre little nooks and crannies of the battle that, aren't really highlighted.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a great tour to do with Charlie.
Oh, yeah. When I was with him on Monday, we were recording something for our anniversary episodes, and so I'm taking the guides out what I tell them, where do you want to talk about? And we'll go out there and, I just want you to talk. So I don't interview them. I just tell them, okay, go ahead, tell me. So we went to Culp's Hill, and
it's shocking.
We went down by Forbes Rock, and I said, all right, Charlie, every day, all 3 days, tell me what happens. We'll make a new clip for each day. So go ahead, July 1st, what's going on up here on Culp's Hill. And he just goes, and, he's like cracking jokes, and he's looking at me, and I'm like, I don't want my voice heard on this. So I'm just like silent laughing, but there are a couple times where I actually did break out laughing because it's funny. But I just could listen to him talk about that all day long.
Did you ever read his thesis?
Yeah, a couple of years ago. Actually, when I first started this, I think he gave me a copy of it. Yeah. I
asked him about it one time, and he goes, well, I'll bring it in for you. And he did. And then he grabbed it back from me, and he goes, this is the only copy I have. Don't lose it. And so I go home, and I'm like... So I read it really fast.
I spilled coffee on it.
I was gonna
no,
say,
you did not. Did you really?
No.
Oh.
No.
And I was like, I don't remember having coffee on it. But then my husband wanted to read it, and I was like, I'm sorry, no.
You can't touch
Charlie.
it.
Nobody can touch it. Oh my God. So
no, he's great.
I was a horrible person to my own husband. Now, speaking of sweethearts, your sweetheart, she worked for the borough?
Well, that's another reason I asked for permission. Okay. Because I did not want to be perceived again as that guy.
Okay.
Because
gotcha.
I have... So we met another borough employee. We were out to dinner one night 4 years ago, and when we were starting to talk about actually moving up here, and then Deb's like, well, I can get a job at Kenny's or whatever. And Deb did environmental inspection and enforcement in Maryland.
Yeah.
And a job came open for the borough to be the Historic Architecture Review Board point of contact and the stormwater management point of contact.
Those are two very different things, but okay.
But both deal with enforcement.
Yeah.
So she applied for the job and got hired.
You
haven't received a violation.
No. I don't know if she would remember me or not, but I've done a lot of stuff like that for Rupp House, and she was always so kind and so helpful. Out of anybody that worked over there, there were times in which I was supposed to call somebody else, and I called her instead, and I was just like, can I just talk to you instead? I don't want to have to deal with anybody else. I don't understand what they're telling me. Can you please help? She was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Well, Deb, she's very, of course, she thinks I take naps all day because I'm retired now. So.
Well, isn't that the point?
I pretty much do.
Mhm.
But no, Deb is very, we balance each other out. I think personality-wise, I'm kind of laid back. Deb's like full throttle all the time.
She knows what she's doing, man.
Oh my! Well, and they have a lot of great people that work for the borough, and it's when you think about it, it's it's a very small borough, but everybody and their brother, and the 192 different nonprofit, non-governmental organizations all have what they think in their mind is the best for what Gettysburg needs, and none of them agree. So as far as herding cats, Charles Gable, people beat up on. Well, he's paid to get beat up on.
Right, that's his job.
But he has a tremendous amount of responsibility and trying to juggle whether it's the tax base that is 47% nonprofit, 501c3.
Yeah, we have a lot of them.
Is it 47% nonprofit or 47% that's taxed?
47% is tax exempt.
Is tax exempt, okay.
So you look at the federal government, the Park Service, the
churches,
the seminary, the college. But there's some of the properties the college has, it does pay tax on. So that's a whole nother discussion. But when you have all that kind of responsibility, and there's just a lot going on, and then it seems like there's a lot of turnover, whether it's businesses or employees or But no, Deb is she wants to get people. It's not that complicated.
It is.
But
it is if you've never done it before.
Right.
Correct.
And I had never done it before. And so I needed somebody to explain it to me like a child.
Like you're a fifth grader.
Yeah, like
or a 5-year-old.
Explain it like you would to a child. And she did, which was, and because I tried that with somebody else.
Did she draw pictures with crayons or something? Or
Carly Marshall that used to work there. And I asked her that. I said, can you explain this to me like a child? And she was like, no. You could tell she was like on the phone going, you're such an idiot. But she was very kind, but she thought I was an idiot, which I am. Wow. But Deb actually was like, Bethany, this form and then this form. And then you fill it out. And then when it says this, you do this. And it was so nice.
Very simple.
And she took the time, and I really appreciate it.
Well, when I was saying it's not that complicated, I just meant it's not that complicated for public servants to kind of help the public through these processes, getting permits.
It has to be complicated when you're dealing with people like me.
Well, even
I make it more complicated.
Yeah, right. It's not really a complicated process, but when you deal with people like you. But then there's also people like me that just go, why do I have to do this? Then that's another pain in the ass type of person. And then just don't. And then they go, oh, sorry, I didn't know.
No, I was very anal because it's not me. It's like if it were my property, that's a different story. I don't own the property.
Right.
So I wanted to be very, very cognizant of what I was doing.
Of course.
What's happening?
What is is Jane's tea room? It's when you put on the hoop skirt and then you hold teas.
Yes, I'm doing the hoop skirt with the wig.
Right.
My hair.
And you become Jane.
Similar to you. Yes. Well, Jane's my mom, so that's where we got Jane's tea room.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So yeah, Jane was best friends with Petey. That's Eric Doerr's mom.
Yes.
So
And
they
I
were
have a
best friends
photograph
growing up.
here. This is interesting here. So, okay. So we've got, go ahead, who's who?
Jane is with the cat in the basket. My mom loves cats, still loves cats to this day. Then there's Petey.
Trying to get that.
Then there's another girl
There we
named
go.
Jane.
So two Janes.
Two Janes, one Petey.
Where are we here? That's your mom.
Yep, that's
with
mom.
the cat. That's Eric Doer's mom.
Yes.
Also
and
with
that's the other Jane.
The ponytail.
And I still look how the cat's just sitting in the basket.
Like this is every day.
That's my ride.
Yeah. Look at those bikes. That's like a Pee Wee Herman bike.
And you're behind the house, right? Or behind
Correct.
the building.
That's the
that
academy you see on the left side there. And that's Tiger. That's the cat's name that's in there. At that point, Tig was the cat. And Tig would only eat hamburger from Hankey Brothers store, which was right across Washington Street, would not eat hamburger from A&P, which was down the street.
Which is where Kenny's? Is that where Kenny's is?
In that neighborhood. Actually, it was up towards where the High Street Brews is.
Oh.
Can you please do an oral history?
Sure.
Thank you. I will interview you if you want me to.
That and have you interviewed Jean Green?
Yeah. Well, I have not interviewed her for an oral history, but yes, we need to do that for her too.
Well, I think there's so much history in the Third Ward in Ward 3, and I don't pretend to know, even scratch the surface. I know history associated with the property there.
But that's how you know people are from here and generations back, because they call it the Third Ward. You don't hear that from anybody else other than people who are generationally
Well, one thing I did learn through
local.
the process for getting the event venue set up was that I'm considered an outsider. I didn't go to Gettysburg High School. I don't live in the borough anymore.
So you're an outsider.
I'm an outsider.
Yeah.
Which,
we all are in this room.
Yeah. And again, I guess that there's so many people have so many different views of what the future and sustainable Gettysburg is.
Yeah.
Which is good. You want people with diverse views to come in and let's all sit at the table and try and figure it out.
Well, you do. You need people from the outside to come in, because if you only have people who've been here for forever, they're going to say, I don't see why it's got to change. It's always been this way. So you need the people who've been elsewhere in the world to come and say, but in other parts of the world, they do it like this and it works. And, and also that's what the tourists want.
And you have to remember, the customer's always right.
Well,
and who is the customer for the borough of Gettysburg?
Visitors. Yeah.
So whether it's history tourism, looking for a place that's kind of a hub between Harrisburg, Harper's Ferry, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Biglerville, whatever. There's so many things to do around Adams County.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome. So Gettysburg still, and I tell people, you drive through Gettysburg at 5:30 in the morning, and it's just like
dead.
But it's an awesome small town. It's awesome.
That's the thing, is it is still a small town. Wintertime,
I love it.
It's just us. And that's what's so great about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then just when you start getting bored with that, it's tourist season again.
Right.
And then you're like, all right, we got some life here.
And then you're mad because they're jaywalking in front of your car while you're stopped at a red light.
Yeah, or they crash into buildings, or, See, that's good. Even though you're on the corner, which normally puts you at risk for being, crashed into by a car, because it seems to be a thing around here in Gettysburg.
Somebody just crashed into the little wall right there at the corner of High and Washington Street.
Yeah.
Came up and broke stones out of it, so I had to repair that.
Yeah, right. But you've got that embankment there on the property, and the house is set back. So, I mean, they'd have to be really driving crazily to hit your house. And I think you're probably in a pretty good position. Knock on wood, but I think you're in a pretty good position there.
Mm-hmm.
So we won't be doing any news stories about cars crashing in there. So the tea, though, Cindy's very interested in this. I'm sure she's going to want to talk to you after during the break here. But you can accommodate up to 30 people for the tea. You have, I guess you just do them once a month, or is that how that goes?
Right, because I don't want to put a commercial kitchen in.
Yeah,
so we're inspected, again, I'm asking permission. So the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture came out and inspected our facility. We're allowed to do up to 14 where we prepare the food and serve it there without putting a commercial kitchen in. So besides making beds and doing laundry, I'm now cutting crusts off of bread. But it's awesome. The response has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
And, Deb wants to do it. Oh, we need to put a commercial kitchen. I'm like, I think once a month is good. You don't want to burn people out.
Right.
We stay a little bit ahead of the curve, so we're sold out for July. We've already started selling out. August, we still have some space.
Okay, August 18th.
We do have the time travelers. Now, those are the ladies in the hoop dresses. They're coming July. They're going to be regulars, I think. They really... The first tea we had 2 ladies that drove up from Baltimore with matching teapot tattoos on their forearms. People are serious about the teas.
Yeah, they are.
Really?
Which I did not know.
I didn't either. Cindy was talking about this. She's been talking about this for months, about doing teas.
She's wanted us to do one, yeah.
Yeah, and she wants to do one for the show it's called That's What She Said. It's about women's history in the Civil War. And she wants to do a tea for that and everything.
Awesome.
Yeah, it would be awesome.
We'd love to host.
Yeah, well, so that's what Cindy needs to talk to you. I'm sure she'll corner you as you're trying to leave the building.
So we have 2 standard sandwiches. We have the cucumber and dill on a triangle, open face. Exactly. We have an egg salad, traditional egg salad.
Love it.
Of course.
Now we've put a little twist. Egg salad's a little bit different each month. Some we use pickle juice, some we don't.
Okay.
Both are phenomenal. And then we'll do a specialty sandwich. Like we had pork and fig jam.
Yum.
That
Last
sounds good,
time,
actually.
We've had prosciutto and fig jam. I did not know how fig jam... Nice.
Yeah.
Fig jam.
And then I'm also making desserts. We traditionally have chocolate chip scones, but our theme for July is red, white, and blueberries. So we're having blueberry scones.
Nice.
Deborah, she thinks all this stuff up, and then I'm just sitting there at the mixer.
Right.
Okay, what are we doing next?
What did you do before you got into this?
Forestry.
Forestry work.
Forestry work.
I did forestry work for the Army for 35 years.
This is quite a different...
That's a whole nother segment.
Yeah.
We're going to do another show.
I know.
No, I traveled all over the country actually working, whether it's Fort Bragg, Fort Benning, I know they have new names, or Fort Lewis, Washington, Fort Wainwright, Alaska, Fort Drum, New York.
Did you know Colby was in the Marines? Colby, the guy behind the computer, he's in the Marines. Did you know that?
Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We didn't do anything. We didn't do anything with the Marine Corps. No, serious. I'm not being facetious.
No, I know.
No. We
tease. We are. We tease him because he always, as soon as he hears somebody serving this service, usually he'll jump in and he'll be like, "Dude, when I was in the Marines," and we're all like, "Oh God, here we go again."
See, I'm
we like to bust his balls.
I'm hooah, not hoorah.
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah, and the Marine Corps basically has the two facilities that they work on, and then they use Army land, whether it's Fort Irwin or 29 Palms or
Is 29 Palms? That's Marine Corps land though, right? Because it's a Marine Corps base, or does the Army own it?
I think Army. Yeah. It's kind of like in Alaska where we have the Yukon Training Range and things like that. That's all actually BLM and National Park Service land.
Yeah.
That in the federal government, when you're using another federal agency's land, it's called withdrawn. So it's a congressional act, whatever. But yeah, the Army uses like 7 million acres in Alaska. It's amazing. The forester, we would fly him out. He actually fly him out for 3 weeks to cruise and mark timber, and then go pick him up and fly him back to Fort Wainwright.
Wow.
Which is an awesome job. If you're like not talking to people,
right?
just
Exactly.
talking to trees all day.
Yeah.
My uncles do that in Georgia. They're timber cruisers.
Really?
They seem like they love it.
I don't know if Georgia has a lot of swamps and snakes.
Yeah, snakes.
It's not super swampy. It's not the hills of Georgia either, but they're not quite in the swamps most of the time where he's working, I believe. But he loves his job, man. It seems like he's always happy to go to work.
Yeah, well, at Fort Stewart, it's amazing that so many of the natural resources at you got to think that DOD is the third largest landowner behind Department of Agriculture and Department of Interior. But DOD, because of where they put these military installations out in the middle of nowhere, and then the community started encroaching on them. And then typically, like at Aberdeen Proving Ground or Fort Lewis, Washington, if you look at a Landsat image of Fort Lewis, Washington, there's only one green spot in the Puget Sound left, and that's Fort Lewis and is it McCord Air Force? They're all purple now. They call them purple because the Army and Air Force, and if they're anyway, actually the military manages for more endangered species on its land than the Fish and Wildlife Service, the Park Service, and the Forest Service. And it's kind of interesting because endangered species or most wildlife, they like disturbances. Like when the Army's blowing stuff up, that doesn't bother the red cockaded woodpecker. If you or I go in and talk like 200 yards from a nest, they're out of there.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
I mean, you can run M1A1s through there. Doesn't bother them. We run fire through there. We do a lot of prescribed burning. So that if you have another segment.
So that's what you did before, and now you're cutting the crusts off of finger sandwiches, and it's a nice departure from all that.
Yeah.
I mean, you must have back injuries and shoulder problems and all these other things, and now you get to live this simple, soft life, and it's nice.
Try and support my old motorcycle habit.
Ah, there you go. There you go. You a Harley guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be a Harley guy.
He lives
with a beard like
near
that.
Gettysburg, yeah.
Yeah.
Hardtail or softtail?
My newest bike is 1942.
Oh, nice. See, that's cool.
Yeah, I
like
can deal with that.
So do you have fun on Bike Week?
I don't go to Bike Week.
You don't go?
Too many people.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So you leave town on Bike Week?
No, of course not. I'm actually looking for, that's why I'm here. We're plugging the B&B. I'm looking for folks to stay.
Well, there you go. So there you go. All right. Well, so that's a perfect segue there to the conclusion. So why don't we do this? If you want to do a tea at Jane's Tea Room, you've got August 18th and September 22nd still available, but it sounds like they fill up pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. So I would go ahead and call 717-334-0224 to make reservations. The Academy is at 66 West High Street. It's right there on the corner of High Street and Washington Street. It's set back off the road. You can't miss it. Can't mistake it for anything else. It's a beautiful building. Biggest property on the block, right? It's got to be. No,
it's one of the biggest properties.
One of the churches is probably just as big, right?
I think the Presbyterian Church, but yeah, it's one of the bigger properties, and we actually just got our signs up today. Oh, nice! So now there's signs, so you'll be able to know. 66 West High Street, like I said, 717-334-0224. GettysburgAcademy.com is the address, the website, and also they're available on Facebook and. That's it? Just Facebook, no Instagram, nothing like that? I'm getting ready to ramp up Instagram.
All right, you're going to do Instagram. So all that stuff. So once again, 717-334-0224, GettysburgAcademy.com. Scott English is the man who will greet you and take care of you while you're there. Thank you very much, Scott. And you're very welcome. We'll be right back.
A Hot Pocket or a bag of popcorn? Now's the time to go and get it. We'll be right back.
The Gettysburg Museum of History, located right here in the center of Gettysburg, PA. Owner and curator Eric Dorr grew up here and has spent his life collecting and preserving history through artifacts ranging from the Civil War, the Battle of Gettysburg, World War II, presidential items, pop culture, and more. His museum is free and open to visitors Wednesday through Sunday, 11 to 5 p.m., where you can stop by and immerse yourself in some of the most amazing artifacts that you would never believe exist in the middle of Gettysburg. If you're a fan of Band of Brothers and Everything Easy Company, you'll love his exhibit featuring the Dick Winters collection and artifacts from D-Day. You can even own your own piece of history by buying one of the many relics they have for sale in the museum and on the website GettysburgMuseumofHistory.com. The Gettysburg Museum of History is a non-profit 501c3 organization with a foundation that allows all purchases and donations to keep the museum operating and open free of charge. They have been featured on the History Channel, the Travel Channel, the Smithsonian Channel, and the Science Channel. Now you can check them out on American Artifact, the series on the YouTube channel, The History Underground. So that's the Gettysburg Museum of History at 219 Baltimore Street or the GettysburgMuseumofHistory.com.
Who can forget the sounds of the 60s?
The 1860s. I can't, and you can't either. Now, there's Marching Through Georgia, the exciting new album by Billy Webster. All of your favorite hits of the 1860s in one place. Such hits as Gary Owens, The Battle Hymn of the Republic, All Quiet Along the Potomac Tonight, Marching Through Georgia, and much, much more. So what are you waiting for? Go to billysongs.com and order your digital download of Billy Webster's Marching Through Georgia today. That's billysongs.com. Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center, Gettysburg's premier museum, is housed in the historic Lutheran Seminary building constructed in 1832, a witness to the first day of battle. The museum's 3 floors of exhibits connect visitors to the dilemmas that led to the Civil War, provide a powerful and personal view of the battle's first day, and explore one of the battlefield's largest hospitals. No visit to Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center is complete without a guided tour of the building's famous cupola, where on the eve of battle, officers and civilians saw thousands of Confederate soldiers' campfires burning to the west, and Brigadier General John Buford watched for vital federal reinforcements as fighting erupted on the morning of July 1st. Today, you can stand where Buford stood and discover how this view helped chart the course of the Battle of Gettysburg. Your trip to Gettysburg is not complete without a serious visit to Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center, Gettysburg's premier museum. Purchase tickets online at seminaryridgemuseum.org or call 717-339-1300. To get tickets or a cupola tour, listeners may call or walk in and mention address in Gettysburg, or by ordering online using the promo code AG1863 for 20% off. Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center. It began here.
There's a devil to pay.
If you're a lover of history, then go to trhistorical.com. There you'll find apparel, drinkware, decor, and more featuring a wide range of interests from the ancient world to the Cold War. Looking to make an impression with the perfect gift? Well, TR Historical now offers gift cards and a vintage wrapping service for a truly unique presentation. And our listeners will receive 10% off plus free shipping in the U.S. when you use promo code GBERG1863. So go to trhistorical.com, TR Historical, for the love of history.
You've heard us promote various ways that you can help us keep the show going, but one way we haven't pushed too much is our sutlery at addressinggettysburg.com/shop. That's a shame because we have designs over there by talented artists like Ty DeWitt of 1863 Designs and Mike Stretch of the Heritage Depot. So now we're promoting it. Buying shirts, hoodies, mugs, and other items from our sutlery not only helps us keep the lights on, but it also helps guys like Ty and Mike, and it helps spread the word about the show every time you wear an item or you sip from your mug. So head over to addressinggettysburg.com/shop and grab some merch. It's the perfect Christmas gift for the Gettys nerd in your family. That's addressinggettysburg.com/shop.
Our favorite bookstore in Gettysburg is For the Historian, located at 42 York Street. It's because they have the best selection of Civil War books in Gettysburg, both new and used. And online, they have even more to choose from. And if the Civil War isn't your thing, that's not a problem. This is For the Historian, after all. They cover history from the ancient world to the 21st century with a strong selection of World War II and American Revolution books. It's astounding how many thousands of titles from Osprey, Savas Beatty, UNC Press, and more they have in their store. And that's because, well, they have a warehouse too. And that's where they keep all the books that are available online at forthehistorian.com. And folks, if you go to forthehistorian.com now and order books until you're blue in the face, be sure you mention that you heard about them on Addressing Gettysburg in the Note to Seller box, and they will refund your shipping costs. And if you prefer to stop by when you're in town, well, you could do that too. Just mention Addressing Gettysburg at checkout, and they'll take 20% off the retail price of your item. So go to forthehistorian.com or stop by 42 York Street, or you can call them at 717-685-5207. That's forthehistorian.com or 717-685-5207.
When you're dragging ass out of bed, the hairs must up on your head. You picture the 20th Maine, and you're happy once again. Fight the battle against being slow with Little Ground Top Road.
Ah, the beautiful taste of Little Ground Top.
I need it right now.
A delicious mix of flavors. What are the flavors? Cacao. Get those notes. Wildflowers. Taste the rainbow. And toasted sugar. Sweet.
Sweet sugar.
Sweet, sweet sugar. It's available in whole bean or ground. And you know, I discovered that ground doesn't mean you have to pick it up off the ground like they spill it and then make you bag it up. I don't understand coffee. So I was very surprised to learn that it actually means that they'll grind it up for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Addressing Gettysburg and Bantam Roasters are excited to present a brand new offering to AG's Getty's Nerd trademark community. If you're a coffee lover, or you know one, or two, or several, pick up a bag or bags of Little Ground Top today. Grab your sack. It's delicious. I really do. What? Your sack of coffee. Jesus, guys. Oh my God. It's delicious. I like it. Cindy likes it, right? We have it at home. Cindy eats it. She eats it. She doesn't even drink it.
She's like, I'm gonna pop this in my mouth.
She chews on it like a pitcher chews on tobacco.
Ooh, you know what you could do?
What?
Do you ever do the coffee beans dipped in chocolate? People eat those all the time.
That's the next thing we're working on. Okay, stop giving away our ideas.
Oh.
We'll call it Little Ground Shop Beaver Droppings. Because get it?
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
However,
hey, if they're going to be there, we're going to
not
have fun
eating
with it. We're going to have fun with it. So anyway, it's expertly roasted by the awesome people over at Bantam Roasters, which is at 82 Steinway Avenue, of course. And like I said earlier in the show, it is flying off the shelves like birds flying off of an electric wire. Well, they're frying off of it. But these are flying off the shelves. And also the online orders are just astounding, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for all of that. That is great of you to do, and we appreciate it here at Addressing Gettysburg, and Bantam Roasters appreciates it as well. Go to addressinggettysburg.com/cafe to order your bags today, or just stop in at Bantam Roasters during your next visit to Gettysburg. That's addressinggettysburg.com/cafe or Bantam Roasters at 82 Steinway Avenue.
When you're dragging ass out of bed, the hairs must up on your head. You picture the 20th Maine, and you're happy once again. Fight the battle against being slow.
I'm gonna fight
with
it.
Little Brown Top Road.
Skidooby-dooby-doo-wah, swappy-dooby-day, doodle-dubby-doodle-boo-da-boo-da-day.
Hey, the studio line costs us money.
Oh, sorry, wrong one.
Hey, the studio line costs us money, so use it. Call 717-420-1978 to join the discussion, ask a question, or whatever. Just stop us from wasting money on the damn phone line.
Yeah.
We're back.
Yeah, seriously. We didn't buy major food this month because I had to pay for the phone line that you guys aren't using. 717-420-1978. Call and use it now. Before we move on to the news and other things, I want to call attention to some people that we have at the back there. Yesterday, Cindy and I, first of all, let me say happy anniversary to Cynthia. It is our 1-year anniversary. A lot of people can't believe that. Yeah, well, yesterday, but today.
Today. Mine was the 18th.
Oh, of what month?
Well, this month.
June. Oh, well, happy birthday to you as well.
13 years.
13 miserable years. Good for you. Good for you. God bless you. God bless you. But anyway, so I got a text yesterday from a fellow named Matt Shupinski. You know him?
I don't know Matt.
Well,
I know Doug.
Count yourself among the lucky. Matt is, he's a listener.
Yeah.
He, I believe, is a former patron. So it's really interesting that I even talked to him. But he texted me and he said, "Hey, me and my dad are coming down till Friday. Let's get together or something." I'm like, nothing like telling me at the last minute. And he goes, "Well, it's a last minute trip." So I said, "Fine." So I talked to Cindy and I said, "I know you want to do something important and romantic for our anniversary, but Matt Shupinski's in town. And can we go, please?" And then she's like, "Fine." So we went out to dinner with Matt and his dad, Doug. And no, that's not how it happened. We have fun with them. So we were like, yes, of course we'll go. So Matty, come over to the microphone back there. Okay, you already should be there, but clearly you don't know how to follow direction. How you doing, Matt?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah, get a little closer. Don't be shy.
Sorry.
Get a little closer with Arid Extra Dry. So you guys, of course, you and your dad, you come down here quite a bit. You guys are funny. We had some fun with you guys last night.
We sure did.
And Doug, if you want to stand over there with Matt so that you can join in on this part of the conversation, of course. Look at how quickly he got up. He could not wait. He was chomping at the... Look, he's pushing Colby out of the way.
I'm sorry. I'm texting my agent to get me. I got to get into agent. Really.
Right. So you could get first billing.
Doug said that Bethany yelled at him.
I believe this because you know each other from the foundation.
Yeah.
Terrorized.
I yelled, at Rupp House?
Yeah.
I was like, who the hell are you parking in our driveway?
It wasn't quite the expletive you used.
I did not.
A lot of obscenities I heard. That was pretty ugly.
So last night we go to Gettysburg Eddie's, okay? And we got a table at the bar. Now, okay, there's this thing, I don't know if you girls probably do it too, but guys do it, and when guys do it, it annoys the hell out of me. And that is, we get together with some old buddies that maybe we haven't seen in a long time, and you know what? Okay, that's nice, right? And you're happy, my old buddies, I'm happy.
It's very aggressive.
Yeah, it's an aggressive happiness, but I'm happy to see my old buddies and, blah, 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 right? And
Happy to see his
the
old buddies.
drinks start flowing and somebody looks over in the corner and is like, hey, hi, there's a jukebox over there. And then they start feeding it with the worst freaking music I've ever heard in my life. Okay.
Is it Creed?
No, but it's along those lines. Okay. We got a little Gin Blossoms going. What else?
A lot of Hootie and the Blowfish.
Hootie and the Blowfish.
There's a sign at Gary Owen that says no Creed on this jukebox.
No Creed on the jukebox. Yeah, that's true. And what else?
What do you remember? It was a lot of 90s, pop tunes.
Alanis Morissette. And these are grown-ass 50-year-old men drunkenly singing, what's that Gin Blossom song?
I got one hand in my pocket.
Yeah.
That's
the other one is flicking that cigarette.
That's Alanis Morissette.
Yeah. But what's that Gin Blossom song that they play?
Hey Jealousy.
Yeah, Hey Jealousy.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's just drunken.
Jealousy.
First of all, it's the worst song ever, okay?
I love
Yeah,
it.
but you sing it.
You love it?
I
love it.
I know.
Yeah, see, that's the problem.
So do you really?
I do because
Okay,
it got
I
me
don't
through
always-
having Matt as a child. It was like, a six-pack and that song got me through many days with Matt.
A 6-pack of Coors Light and the Gin Blossoms. Wow, what a time the 90s were. So okay, so you're they're singing that stuff, Hey Jealousy, but like they're all out of tune, drunk, singing it together, and it's
Yelling.
like, but it's like where the eyes are closed and like Hey Jealousy, Hey Jealousy. And they don't know the lyrics, right? So they're that, and then I only want to be with you. They're all that crap, and so we're like these freaking guys. I can't stand. It's annoying us.
Kiss by Rose.
So we're never gonna survive unless they did that one.
Oh,
They get a little crazy, and then where have all the cowboys gone?
Oh my God, Paula Cole.
Yeah. And they didn't even sing the "Where Are All the Cowboys Gone" part. They just went. That's all. They were quiet the whole time until it got to that part. They're like.
What was the one that came out at the same time by Jewel?
Oh. Who
Save
your soul? Yeah. You get it, right?
Yeah.
That whole era of like that soft
Matchbox 20. were they in the
Matchbox
mix?
20. No, but it's
They
you
didn't play
get the
similar.
idea, right?
Yeah.
So Matt gets this brilliant idea. The other Matt. Okay, this is the first time you hear Matt gets this brilliant idea, and it's not me. So Matt gets this brilliant idea.
Okay.
He gets out his phone and he's like, F it. What's a long and horrible song? I'm putting it on the jukebox.
Because it's when you can put
Oh no.
Yes, it's an
from
app.
your phone.
Oh, no.
on
Right.
the
So
app.
we don't. So Matt didn't even have to walk over and put
Yeah.
quarters or $1 in or anything. You
Brilliant.
do it right. It's fantastic.
What'd you do?
So we deliberated for a while before we get to the one we did. What were we throwing out? I said Barry Manilow, Copacabana. That's
And then
7 minutes long.
I know, but they
But
would
then-
totally like that.
Yeah,
but
we had some
Doug,
good ones.
Yeah, Doug got offended because he's like, "Hey, I'm a fan of Low," and I was like, "Okay, you and my mom could go sit and talk about Barry and his hair."
Was it I'm Getting Closer to My Home?
No, that's a great song though. What?
It goes on for 7
Well, it's long, but it's a
years.
great song. What was
We
another
talked
one?
about a lot. Air
Clap.
Supply.
Oh.
I brought like
I'm
an Air
all out of
Supply
love.
song.
No, what was the song? It was one I never
Making
heard.
love out of nothing at all.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
a
know.
Yeah,
long
that's a
one.
good one.
How does that go?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Nobody can sing it to me that I can understand.
You guys could have done the Titanic theme song.
They would have
Celine
loved that,
Dion.
Colby. See, that's the
that
thing.
would have been up their alley.
Yeah.
Right. You got it. Any of those like sing-songy ones that
Play
everybody
any-
does.
Pink Floyd.
They would have been all about.
That was the issue.
No, Pink Floyd. They what?
They every song that we came
Yeah.
up with that was
We were like, no, they're
horrible.
totally gonna
Right.
be
We were
into
thinking,
this.
well, you know what? They probably dig this.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
did Bethany just say play any Pink Floyd for
They're
a bad
super,
song?
They're
For a
super
long song.
Yes, she
Yeah, but
did.
they're
No,
good though.
but you see, that's the thing, right? They have to be bad and long.
Oh, okay.
So I suggested Winchester Cathedral. Do you know that song?
No.
I don't know that.
Winchester Cathedral.
You're the only non-octogenarian that I've ever heard use that song.
I would pull it up now, but we'd get a copyright strike. But it's kind of corny, late 60s song, okay. So I thought maybe that would just drive them absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
But
what did you go with?
Well, Matt, tell him.
We settled, and I think it was a pretty good choice. What's New Pussycat?
Yeah, buddy. Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah.
So the song comes on now, right? What's new, Pussycat? Whoa! Right? And
the best part is though that it goes right into it.
Right.
Like that song, it just
there's
hits
no
right
intro.
from the beginning.
Yeah, it's
Boom.
drop beat.
He hits you, right?
Yeah.
So what's new, Pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa. And they all just stop in their tracks with their beers. They're like, bruh? Bruh, what? Bruh, what is this, bruh? Did you put that on?
Yeah,
bruh.
and they start turning on
They
each
start
other.
turning on each other. They're accusing each
no,
other.
seriously.
Yeah.
Did you play this?
No, dude, seriously, did you play? Bruh.
Did you play this?
Bruh, did you play this? Bruh.
He's dying.
Next, you have to do how much is that doggy in the window?
So wait, hold on. So then it goes all the way through, and then they're glad. And then one of their crappy songs come on. What was it like?
I probably a Creed
It was another
song.
Darius Rucker song.
Yeah, they played like that
Play
whole
that
album.
Blowfish again.
Let her cry when the tears fall. That one.
Lifehouse.
Probably.
I love that song
Yeah.
too, man.
Yeah, I'm
sorry.
sure you do. And they're all like swaying.
Milli Vanilli.
And when the sun comes up tomorrow.
Let her sing. Oh, let her sing.
I think Alanis Morissette was that one's funnier to me, dude. Because the crappy part is you also know every single one of those lyrics too. So it's not even like you can block out the songs. You know them all.
Notice how many of the lyrics he knows.
Dude, that's Alanis Morissette. You know all of her lyrics.
And that's what they were doing.
Obi-Wan.
That's
Can we just all acknowledge that the only reason Matt is telling this story is because he gets to sing all of these songs?
Wow, Doug, true words have never been spoken.
Yes. I love to sing me some Alanis Morissette. Well, look out at the karaoke bar when Alanis Morissette comes on. I'll push you out of the way and take the mic. Anyway, so they play their stupid song,
new?
and they're all happy. And then we're upset that they're happy again. Yeah. So Matt goes back and plays What's New Pussycat again. This time,
They
though,
skirted the first one. I wasn't letting it. They had to pay.
Right, because Matt would do this. So the first time that it played, right, we had to play. So I had my back to him. Cindy has her back to him. Doug and Matt can see them. So when they're like looking around and everything, I could tell when they looked our way because Matt would just go, and so anyway, blah, 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 like fake, like he's talking to Cindy. And then, but the second time though, he couldn't hold it.
I couldn't either.
And these guys were looking around,
that
and
it
Matt
came
just
out.
started busting out laughing and pointing. Yeah, it's me, I did it. And then they threw a beer bottle.
No, that was Doug.
That was Doug.
That was Doug. Oh yeah, the second that they turned and looked, and he goes, "All right." It was me.
I folded like a deck of cards.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
immediately.
So we had fun with that, and I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, whenever you're in a bar and there's that type of jukebox there, and there's a group of drunken idiots reminiscing on the glory days at the bar, singing their stupid songs from their youth, play What's New Pussycat.
Yeah, because you can also like play it next, pay extra to make it
Nice.
play next. So
And
it
only
skips
one more
their
credit.
song,
That's
like an extra credit.
And don't forget, Matt, that as we left, they had 2 more songs after the second What's New Pussycat, and as we left, we played it a third time. Just to bury the hatchet,
That's right. So like once they realized it was us, it was a big laugh. We were getting up to leave. They're like, "Oh,
That's
you guys
funny.
did it."
You did it a third
So
time.
can we give a quick PS, a postscript to that story?
Sure.
Yeah.
We went to the Reliance Mine Saloon after.
Oh yeah.
And guess who walked in
Nah.
20 minutes after?
Those a-holes.
Those guys, yeah.
They didn't realize it was us, and I talked to the bartender, and I said, "Hey, you're running the music here, right?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Can you put on What's New Pussycat?" And he did, and the whole place was like, "No, what?" I saw the whole group of guys. So yeah, got him 4 times last night.
And then we turned around. We were sitting at the bar and turned around and went, "You sons of..."
we're here.
You guys are the terror of Gettysburg. I love it.
Yeah.
You got to move down here and do this all the time.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's funny.
That is funny.
That was brilliant.
That was good.
Yeah,
Good
and
job.
they deserve every What's New Pussycat that they get.
I mean, everybody deserves to be serenaded by a Welshman.
Holy crap, that's funny. Oh God. Excuse me, I didn't mean to belch in your ear. I meant to hit mute, but I was grabbing something. 717-420-1978 if you want to call in. I want to thank Marie and Chad. They sent this lovely card to the studio. It says, Matt, I hope this card will make you smile for a bit. I know this whole compliance business has been hard on you, so please accept this Sheets gift card. Why the Sheets not, guys? As a small token of appreciation for all you do, here's to another trip around the sun. Wishing you the happiest birthday under the sun. Happy Mattmas, Marie and Chad. So
That
thank
was
you
very
guys
sweet.
for that. And also, I think I need to make everybody aware that our friend Nancy Goodmastad over at the Shriver House asked me to put the word out. If you're a reenactor, or you know a reenactor, okay, and you want to shoot some guns out windows in the town, she's looking for you. She wants you. How's that? Okay. See, like Uncle Sam pointing at the camera. If you're listening to the audio-only version, that makes no sense. But here's what she said. It's July 6th, okay? And it's the Confederates Take the Shriver House, the 25th annual. She's been doing this 25 years. Civilians caught in the crossfire. Saturday, July 6th, 5 to 9 p.m., you may know what happened on the battlefield, but do you know what happened to the families and their homes in Towin? Stand feet from Confederate sharpshooters as they fire on Union forces. Reenactment of what actually happened during the occupation of the Shriver's home during the battle. There's a medical demonstration. You can sip a cool root beer in Shriver Saloon down in the basement, which is really cool if you haven't been there. You can hear local citizens discuss the possible invasion and write a letter to a soldier at the Ladies' Aid Society booth. Shriver House is 309 Baltimore Street, shriverhouse.org. And if you want to be one of the reenactors, she needs maybe about 5 or 6, I think she said. So call her, 717-337-2800. That's 337-2800. Or, go contact through the website, shriverhouse.org. She would appreciate your help. She just needs a few more reenactors. She's got some. She needs a couple more. And it's a really cool experience. Have you ever seen that?
No, because it's always at the same time as events.
As your stuff that you're doing. You got to talk to your bosses about that. Be like, hey, guys, like...
I didn't plan when the battle took place.
Well, that's true. Anyway, so there is that, and
wow.
Colby wanted to run something by us. Your new series there, Colby.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got 3 seconds. Go.
So what do you think of this? No, I thought it'd be kind of cool because we do this all the time. So now we can give everybody kind of a peek behind the curtain a little bit. What was I turned off at first?
No, you were on, but I had it low because of the noise in the back. My echo, my voice was echoing.
It's so booming.
Yes, well.
We're finishing up that one on the Pacific.
Yes.
And this next one, we were going to do the history of all like the primary special forces units.
Okay.
Well, we started off with the Rangers because they've got the longest and most dense history out of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And we got going into it.
Right.
Initially, we were going to do 2, maybe 3 episodes for the Rangers, then 2 episodes per, each other one. Green Berets, Navy SEALs, and all that.
Right.
Well, we got researching it, and we decided we could do that, or we could just do the Rangers for now and do 8 episodes on the Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
So, like an episode for the colonial era, episode for the Revolution and the War of 1812, episode for the Civil War, so on and so forth. World War II, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
Up through Vietnam. We wouldn't go past Vietnam.
Right.
But it ends up being like 8 episodes. Do you like that idea better? Or do you guys like hitting multiple of the units in one series with shorter episodes and not as deep of a dive?
Well, let me ask you this, Colby. Can you tell me all about it again?
You were too busy with sound bites?
I was too busy with sound bites.
All right.
All right, real quick. Go.
History of Special Forces units.
Yes.
Should they be shorter? So each unit only gets 2 or 3 episodes, and we do all of them in one go from a bird's eye view. Kind of don't go super in depth.
I say,
or we go more in depth.
No, I say if you're doing like Special Forces,
it's definitely gonna go with regular. You're doing like Special Forces and everything, right?
Yeah, the first one's the Rangers.
Right. They you know, they're quick, right? They're swift. They boom boom do their thing, right? So I say short episodes on each one of them. Go, you know, the Rangers went in and got them. You know, and then that's the next one.
But the cool thing is,
Navy SEALs went in and got them.
We started researching it, and they, you know, the Rangers can date back their history to the colonial era,
correct,
so before the Revolution. So you got like Robert Rogers and all that, and there's a ton of stuff that are really cool stories.
What do you want to do, Colby? Let me ask you, what do you want to do?
Well, this always happens to Tommy and I. We have an idea of doing more of a bird's eye view of something, and then we start researching it, and we go, nah, we gotta go deeper. We gotta tell more of these stories because they're super cool. So we're thinking if we do it longer, which I think is kind of what we were leaning towards doing. So an 8 episode series on the Rangers or a 7 episode series on the Rangers that takes you up through Vietnam. Then we break from the Special Forces units, do another topic, and then later in the future come back and do the Green Berets, and then the Navy SEALs will eventually have their own, and so on and so forth.
Right.
Because a lot of them, you know, like Navy SEALs, they only go back to World War II. There's really not a history of them before that. And the Green Berets, they have Francis Marion, but really what they operate as starts in World War II with OSS Gettysburg teams, and there's a few other detachments from the OSS that operate like Green Berets.
So what's your question?
So I was going to see, did you think the idea of doing a 7-part series or 8-part series on the Rangers where you kind of dedicate an episode to each of the eras and the people operating in those eras?
I think what you should do is a whole series on, or a season, whatever you want to call it, on Special Forces, and each one gets its own 45-minute, hour-long episode.
Oh, there's too much information for that.
You have to learn to be pithy, Colby.
It'd have to be at least 2 or 3 episodes.
You have to learn to be pithy. How many times do I tell you?
Pithy.
Shorten it.
Pithy.
Yes,
Colby, as somebody who is not super military as you are, I do think that having the shorter the shorter series might be better.
Well, there's a lot of that out there is the only problem. So like if you look up documentaries of like Green Berets or Rangers, they're all usually like 30, 45 minutes long.
All right,
don't go in depth.
It was 6 questions. Says, I like the 8 episode arc. Let's see. Grant says 1 episode each. I knew I liked you for some reason, Grant. And then let's see. Be sure to cover the greatest Ranger ever, Walker.
Of
Texas.
course. can't not cover Walker.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I would say my vote would be, if you're going to do an 8 episode series, do it on Special Forces. Each one gets its own half hour to an hour long episode, and this is a good exercise for you to learn to get to the point.
Oh no, man! There's some good stories you can't just skim over.
You can do the good stories as a Patreon.
Yeah, you could do that as your Patreon. You can
pre-made Patreon
the outtakes.
content.
People love outtakes. You make the episode, so that the average person can listen to it and digest it, and then you say, if you want more stories about the Rangers, you want more stories about the Green Berets, go to our Patreon and blah 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 blah. Damn it, man! Do I have to teach you everything?
All right, we'll take it into account.
All right, very good then. Very, very good. You know, I do like the idea of that, Colby, but only if it's done the way I say to do it.
Well, you know, the reason we started doing that is I see there's tons of comments going off about Robert Rogers, and he's a super fascinating character, man.
Yes.
And he comes up with his 21 rules of ranging or something like that. There's still things that we do today.
There's a lot of comments I've seen about Jolly Rogers.
Or Roy Rogers.
Roy Rogers as well.
Now, I've been to his house in Oklahoma.
I've been to his restaurant.
They made it a museum, and that place is freaking cool.
Nothing better than the roast beef and cheese sandwich at Roy Rogers.
Oh my God.
And now, all the news that's fit to print and a good deal that's not. Here's AG Today's lead anchor, Bethany Yingling, with current events and sidewalk conditions.
Getty's Golf receives conditional approval and is on track for a spring 2025 opening.
Free parking on Lefevre Street is probably coming to an end as Borough looks to partnering with a parking management company.
Gettysburg Area School District approves budget with a 1% tax hike for the 24-25 school year.
Once again, Gettysburg is in the news for horrible reasons. All this and more in today's news.
I think Cam saying no like that might be my favorite part of that whole song.
Absolutely my favorite part, too.
Not us talking at all.
More people are dying in horrible ways in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Dun dun. Dun dun.
Oh, speaking of songs, Matt, I wanted to give you credit earlier when you were putting in the plug for your little ground top coffee. That first transfer from the intro song to your background, when you talked, that was smooth, and no one gave you credit for it.
I never get credit for that shit.
That was tastefully done.
Yeah, people think I have a whole team of people back here. It's me going like a mad scientist. All right, girls, what's in the news?
Okay, so Getty's Golf received its conditional approval on Monday night. It took 5 ballots, but Getty's Golf finally received the conditional approval. Plans call for an 18-hole miniature golf course to be built on nearly 1 acre of L-shaped vacant lot located at 533 Steinway Ave between McDonald's and KFC.
Yeah, that is L-shaped.
There's actually space between McDonald's and KFC. I always feel like they're right next to each other.
Yeah, there's an empty lot there. It's just
Chinese
grassy.
restaurant.
It was originally, I believe, a Hardee's, and then it became what was the name of it? We used to call it Hong Kong Fooey's, but that wasn't it. It was
something garden.
Wait, China Garden? No, it'll come back to me. Well, go ahead.
So they had separate waivers and modifications involving smaller details of the land development plan that they had to get through.
Mayflower.
That's it. Go ahead. Sorry.
That's okay. Some things about the financial security structures within 200 feet of the site on the plans, modifications for landscaping requirements, sidewalk construction. We talked about that the other week as well. This latest one had to do with curbs on the island with green space in the middle of the parking lot. The curb issue was one of the biggest issues. So
I swear there is nothing worse than our system of government. It is
so essentially they didn't want to
annoying.
put a curb in. They were just going to have grass. They want them to put a curb in because otherwise people will walk on the grass and turn it into a mud pit. And this is what took the time. So now they are.
But don't they know how fun mud pits can be?
Yeah.
Casey Turbin, you're on the air.
Hello, Matthew. How are you, my friend?
Good. How are you, Casey? Sorry I didn't get to you last week.
No sorries, my man. I'm sorry that I didn't say happy birthday.
You better.
And I would like you to add me to the list of people that failed and did not live up to you.
That's a long list there, Case. Total strangers on Facebook did a better job than you people did.
We're horrible people.
That's true.
Well, good job being born. You know what I'm saying? Like, good Lord, you know?
Exactly.
Pat on the back.
Listen, I hate my birthday. I talked about this to the therapist today. I've always hated my birthday, except the only thing I liked was presents. But it was like, okay, I'll take the presents. Thank you. Now leave me alone. I don't need you to sing to me. I don't need the cake. I don't want any of that. I just want to be alone on my birthday.
I could see the dark cloud from Gettysburg. Like, I knew you didn't want to be reminded. Exactly. Like, you didn't want that. You're fine.
Exactly. Now, 50, I want a big bash, so get planning, girls. It's 4 years away. And then after that, 60, 70, 80, you know, I don't, just every 10 years. So what's up, Case? What do you want to do?
80. I was just saying 80. That's kind of ambitious. I don't know.
After 80, every year I want a big bash.
You got to cash in every time. All right.
Damn right.
Right. All right, let me get to the point. I've been out here, much like one of your partisan raiders, trying to find something to fill in for these get-out-of-the-car tours that the Park Service has stolen from us.
Yes.
Those rat bastards.
They're just following orders.
So, I know. Just out here doing my thing. So I thought a good fill-in, July 20th, Cool Spring Battlefield, Boyce, Virginia, outside of Clark and Winchester, kind of in the middle. It's having an anniversary. I don't know if you've looked at your emails from Savas Beatty, but there's a new book coming out from Jonathan Noyalis, who did your second Winchester show, just about the Battle of Cool Springs. It's one of their new top 2 releases, so it's out there, $16.95. Order it. He'll be signing that day. And tour starts at 9 o'clock in the morning, and they have stuff till 2 p.m. So it's a good one to come out to.
Well, all right, let's talk about that. Maybe we'll just get people coming down or something like that.
And the reason I kind of pitch this is because of the Gettysburg connection. There's a lot of Valley 64 Gettysburg connections.
Oh, yeah.
So especially for those looking to take the God test, you want to pay attention. I just sat at the Academy last weekend. Some people have no idea what happened outside of July 1st and 3rd, 1863. So
that should, for those of you taking the guide exam, though, and if you're there and you're, at these classes and you find that there are people like that, that should give you hope. Jesus, what you stand in the middle of the freeway? What's going on, Case?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, I'm at the campground. What do you fucking think? It's freaking thing. It's 100 degrees outside. I got a fan. Don't yell at me.
Oh, that's a fan. That's a fan. What are you standing in the middle?
Oscillating.
Well, I walked across my campsite. I didn't know I was going to set the radio on fire.
It was so loud.
I'll stay away. Good Lord, I'll just sweat out in the street here. Cool.
There you go.
Yeah.
Are you going to join us for dinner?
No, I'm in for the evening, but I will next week, I promise.
Okay, very good. Yeah, because you're on the show next week.
Yeah.
I am, and I'm going to stick all the way through the night. I might come sleep at your house next week.
Very good, very good. You and the dog can sleep on the floor. It's a comfortable
Thank you for your time, my friend. I'll put some stuff up. Well, when I'm on next week, I'll get some more details. But for those that want to pencil a date in, July 20th in the Valley, good stuff for the Cool Spring anniversary. So
all right, we'll get more details on that, and we'll remind people as we go along. Thank you, Case.
Very good.
I'll talk to you later.
Appreciate you.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to hang up on you like that. Go ahead. Who's next? You.
So do we want to do the bad ones first?
No, give us one more good one, and then do the bad ones.
No, that's not a good one.
Okay.
Okay. Coming back to this one. I received an email from our friend Jill Sellers.
Okay, over at Main Street.
Yes, so I added this to the news. They're going to be enhancing and redoing, replace and refurbishing the wayside markers throughout town. So they're installed
wayside markers?
The ones that are the historical markers all through town.
That's Main Street?
I don't know if they were originally the ones that did it.
Okay.
I don't know the answer to that question, but
Interesting.
they're doing it now.
Okay.
They've been up for 25 years. No wonder they need replaced.
Oh, yeah, they need replacing.
Enduring weather and wear, and many of them are in urgent need of replacement. Main Street Gettysburg, in collaboration with the Borough and Adams County Historical Society, has initiated a comprehensive effort to restore these markers to their former glory.
That's the best soundbite you have.
No. The initiative invites local businesses and community members to participate through a sponsorship opportunity. Businesses can sponsor either small signs, which I'm just going to say the one outside Rupp House is listed as a small sign. Rupp House Tannery.
No.
You can sponsor it for $100 or larger signs for $200.
Oh, wow.
Although sponsors will not directly be directly listed on the markers themselves, Main Street Gettysburg plans to honor their support through various channels, including print, social media, and online recognition. So you can go to their website for more information, Main Street Gettysburg. And I know that this is not something that I should typically put out a plea for, but based off the ones that are in front of Rupp House, we actually have two. We have one for the house and the tannery, and then there's one down a little bit further on the other side of the house that's there for the municipal water supply, the little well.
The little well there, yeah.
They're like almost like a fiberglass type.
Right,
material.
like that. It's like a foam, fibery. It's like
weird.
a hard foam.
Yes,
yeah.
And so when you and we see people do this all the time. Like if you run your finger over it, you get pieces of that in your skin.
Oh God.
So it is time to replace these things. So this is I am pleading to people to help support this because it is something that is very important.
Signs
to this
can be
town.
deadly, is what you're saying.
Signs can be deadly,
Yeah.
but at the same time,
mesothelioma they can cause.
At the same time,
Diabetes.
the information that they supply to the town, for historical structures and places, things that happen throughout town. It's a little bit of a vital service that we overlook and take for granted.
I agree. All right. And so how do people support that again? One more time.
You can go to mainstreetgettysburg.org or contact Main Street Gettysburg at 717-337-3491.
All right.
How does one construct something?
Well,
I don't know.
Very carefully.
Very carefully, yeah.
Or not. Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the opposite.
Yep. All right. What do you got there, Cynthia?
So there was an approved tax increase.
Oh, that's always fun.
In Gettysburg.
It's not funny,
It's
Debbie.
a 1% increase that will benefit the Adams County Technical Institute's future building plans. There was one person who voted against it because they sided with Amblebrook. Amblebrook had residents there, and they had kind of raised something. They had previously reached out, it sounds like, to try to get them to have 2 tiers of taxation so that they're 55 and older had less.
Nobody got time for that.
Because this is school taxes, and it has to do with the money going towards either a renovation or a new build for the Adams County.
Why are you so
offended
shocked?
by this. Adams County Technical
Wait, what?
Institute.
Why are you so shocked?
No, I'm not even going to. Nope. Mm-mm.
Oh, let it fly, dude.
No, I want to hear why you're so shocked about that.
I think. Never mind.
No. These are people that go for the early bird special, and they got it to a certain age, so now they deserve all the breaks. Go ahead. Explain what's wrong.
I just think.
What?
You are paying $7 gajillion for that house.
I know, and you can't afford 1%. I know.
You can't pay the same.
Yes.
Do you know what it says here, though? It does say that the average priced Gettysburg area school district property is $269,368. I don't know that I believe that right now,
I
but
don't know what the hell you just said.
$269,368
gotcha.
is the average.
Well,
property.
average could be the average. I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So a resident
Tim
would pay an additional $30-ish more. The ACTI will be renovating or building at a new site, and they said they had to turn away 31% of students who applied for the 23-24 school year, which is crazy because I thought well, I guess it is pretty small. That's the one that's right next to the high school, right? Am I right?
What?
The Adams County Technical Institute.
Oh.
Am I right?
I believe so,
Oh.
but I don't know the.
Yes.
Sure. I thought it wasn't built yet.
No. They have
I don't
one.
know.
It's just they're building
They're building a new one.
and
A new
that's
one.
why they're increasing the taxes
I
is to
don't
help
know.
pay for it. But
But you know, the Straban is building those houses out on Camp Letterman. I mean, where are those kids going to go to school? Are they building a new school over there?
No.
So where are they going to go to school?
They're going to go
I don't know.
into
I mean,
the school
maybe-
system that's already overburdened. It's going to be great.
you know what they should do then? They should use that building as part of the high school. But anyway, that building is not big enough, so they turned away 30% of students that applied. Which means that more people are trying to get into trades, which I think is great.
Which is good,
That's a
actually.
great thing.
Yes, because I think
So-
we're all learning that higher education is nonsense now. So getting into a trade, listen, you're always going to need plumbers. You're always going to need electricians. You're always
Why
going to
do
need.
you think I put this old house on repeat in my house?
Exactly.
I'm trying to get Ezra to be like, I want to be a plumber.
Right. I mean, listen, all the people that I know that I graduated from high school with, the ones that went on to college, are finally starting to dig themselves out of the debt they got themselves into. Some of them did very well. I'm not saying you can't do well with college, but I mean, let's face it, the average bear is the average bear for a reason. But the people that didn't and they went into some kind of trade, I mean, they're rolling in it. Rolling in it.
You know what else is considered a trade job, but it is, you can make a lot of money on it and it doesn't give you a lot of debt, is like an echo
eBay.
tech.
What?
An echo tech?
What is that?
Like a hospital.
Oh, like echocardiograms and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no. Oh, those jobs?
Or doing what I had done
Radiology,
today.
the sonogram thing.
What was that?
Sonogram.
No.
The
Ultrasound.
thyroid
Yes,
ultrasound.
an ultrasound tech.
You just
They
rub
make
the
money.
little wand. You put the KY on, and you rub the wand, and then it's that's cold, you know.
Except
The
that it's not.
KY.
It's
Is
a
it-
warming gel.
Oh, is it a warming gel?
Yeah.
The hell do I know?
I don't understand why it's the responsibility of the citizen to pay for a new school to be built when it's like when it's further, it's a college, like collegiate level education, and not like high. If it was the high school or the middle school,
No, it is, isn't it?
It is high school.
It is a high
Oh.
school.
It
It's
is.
a school
Yeah.
district.
This is part of Gettysburg Area School
But
District.
the Gettysburg Technical,
It's the Adams County Technical Institute.
Yeah.
Because
that's
but
for
it's-
high schoolers.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's
So
like
It's
a
like VOTech. Did you have Votech down in Florida?
Well, it was more like they would come to the regular school for half the day,
Yeah.
then leave.
Yeah,
early.
that's what this is.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
they
So
have
they
to have
have-
a different school for it.
Yeah,
we had one. We
No,
had a
no,
different.
it was at the same school.
Well, ours
No.
was too, but it was a different part of the building that no
Well,
one
and so
had the
this-
bravery to go to.
This one right now, it is literally right next door to the high school. It's same property, parking lot, all of that. They just go over there because that's where they have everything for it. But the one up in it's the Cumberland Valley, and it's something else combined with it. It's Cumberland Valley, Carlisle, I think, is combined with it, but they're all together. It's a huge campus. And so, it goes to show you that a lot of people are going towards that if you're turning away so many people. So,
That's good. That's good.
So wait, did they leave? So they go there for the second half of their day, and that's where they learn a trade.
Depending on what track they're on.
Right.
So I see. So in Florida, it's very different. In Florida, you have an outside job. You go to school half the day and leave early and go to your job.
So there are some tracks that do allow you to do that, because I did know of some people, kids up in Camp Hill area that had done that, and they were able to go work for something, and then they actually had jobs when they graduated from high school, and they didn't have to go any further. So they were kind of teaching them as they go, and they were applying on the job. So it's just, there's a lot of different options there. I don't know about the Adams County one. I haven't looked into that, but taxes are going to go up anyway, right? So if they're going to build something, something that...
John B says, where does Matt get his ultrasounds done? I don't get ultrasounds. That's why I don't know.
You can get ultrasounds on any part of your body.
No, I know. I think I had one on my heart, actually. Or was that a sonogram? I had one of those things where I laid down and they rubbed the thing on me, and they're like, oh, look, there's your heart. Like, I
And
have to
it
look
was
at my heart.
black and shriveled.
It was very small.
Yes.
Yes. What do you got?
I thought it was beating to a tune from the Walk Tallers.
It was.
Okay. So parking. So the big...
Is this the bad news?
Yeah. Municipal lot outside... Well, this is the tame version.
Oh.
On Lefevre Street, that is the parking area for Lincoln Elementary and the Gettysburg Area Middle School. So behind Mr. G's, for those of you that are not super familiar. The borough voted on Monday unanimously to enter in an agreement with the parking management company to manage parking. Then somebody is quoted as saying, "We are not aiming to charge to park for a school event that is happening. However, they have found that most people who park there are from out of town."
Here we go.
So we are voting to allow this parking company to come in and put this software in place that generates revenue for the district and safeguards our facilities, says Board President Kenny Hasinger.
We were just talking about this.
I know. We
Just the
parked
other
there
day.
the other day because who was it? CJ or
EJ Smokehouse.
Yeah, was behind Mr. G's, and we're like, well, let's go try it out. And we parked there in the school lot, and we're like, isn't it great that they have these lots over here, and when the school's out, everybody parks there, and it's so nice that we have this.
Yeah.
That's done.
There's going to be a lot less walking around downtown, I feel. But
Well,
that's me.
yeah.
They added that fees have not yet been determined. What is wrong with
I don't know.
tonight?
Well, I heard
feel
it's
like I might be having a
$2.50 for every 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah, probably.
To
The agreement is for
compete with the
6 months
square.
from the date it is executed. It'll take a couple weeks to get everything up and going, but according to information provided in the board packets, the district will incur no upfront costs. Parking Management Company, which is the name of the company, is called Parking Management Company, will split revenues
original.
50-50 with the district. The company will also be responsible for all software costs, signage, and labor.
Well, good. That is wonderful.
Okay. Next. This is the horrible one.
Okay. I mean, is it really horrible?
Yeah, it's pretty horrible.
So, like, no music or anything would
music.
be appropriate?
Correct. So you're going to play something
Like,
anyway?
No, I mean, like, how about this?
I wouldn't even grace it with a song.
Not even this part?
No.
All right. I actually had the Walk Tallers do that for Jeff Shower last week because it sounds kind of Cuban Missile
Yeah.
Crisis-y.
Yeah.
And I forgot to play it.
Oh, man.
Isn't that terrible? Isn't that terrible?
So I'm just going to read the article. This is from
All right. But try to do it
Gettysburg
cheerfully.
Times. Dozens of animals were removed from allegedly horrendous conditions aboard a former school bus and trailer, leading to one arrest by the Eastern Adams Regional Police. This gentleman, who I'm not going to even grace him with a name, was 50 years old with no fixed address, so transient person.
Wait, but why do we not say the names of people who do horrible things anymore?
Because a lot of people get their rocks off on hearing their name in print, and I just won't do it.
Yeah, but then how do we know who to avoid?
Well, he's in jail, so if you avoid jail...
Forever?
Probably.
No, I doubt
Listen to this.
Okay, go ahead.
He was arrested without incident and is being held at Adams County Prison on a West Virginia warrant.
Hey!
The warrant was connected to a charge of distributing obscene materials to minors, allegedly related to images of bestiality transmitted via the internet.
Get out.
Cameron.
There was a woman also living there that was arrested, but she was not arrested, but is being included in the investigation. I'm going to read this part, but I'm doing it under duress. This is a quote from the...
Well, okay, wait. Do you know how to self-censor? Like, do you know how to do, like, not old-timey, but, like, 90s radio self-censoring?
Well, do you want to read the quote?
No. You can do it, but I'm just saying, don't say anything that's going to make...
I'm just going to read the first sentence.
Old women blush.
We're doing DNA analysis for human DNA.
Oh.
That's some gross stuff.
That is awful.
This has been a nice time for me. This year I have made 55 years teaching in this town. And for the students on this show tonight, go to the First United Methodist Church. That includes me, too, okay?
Can I keep going?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
The SPCA removed 30 birds,
My name is John Dacre.
including chickens.
Lord is risen today. Hallelujah. Son of man and angels say hallelujah.
All right, go ahead.
Removed 30 birds, including chickens, roosters, ducks, turkeys, and 4 dogs from the bus, as well as a bull and a horse.
In the bus?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Chickens were allegedly fed to the dogs, and the bull and horse...
He's just keeping the mood light.
And the bull and horse were allegedly...
Oh, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a second. What kind of a freaky farm is this guy on?
Yeah, and he was living in a trailer and a bus along the roadway between here and New Oxford.
Oh, my. Wait, so the bull and the horse were on the bus?
Yes.
And they were doing what?
Things that you don't want to be doing to an animal.
The dog and the bull and the horse were making love.
No, the people.
Oh my god.
Uh-huh.
I can't believe you weren't tracking on that.
No, I missed it because I was really interested in John Dacre.
So, they have retrieved the animals.
That's terrible.
They've
That's a nice back pedal there, buddy.
Yeah. The animals have been taken off site and are being treated.
Oh my god, this is awful.
But you can donate money to help.
Like with therapy?
Well, to help them get back to
Where are they going?
Well, donations from the public are welcome to help offset the approximate $10,000 cost of testing as well as the cost of caring for the animals.
Oh my god.
And that is the Adams County Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals.
Say that part again. I'm sorry, John Dacre was.
Is the Adams County Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals.
Okay.
The only
What's
reason
the guy's name? Because I'll tell you why. A person who does this doesn't want to be known. So if it's in the article, say his freaking name.
Sean Hirschbein.
Oh God, I'm friends with him.
He's 50 years old.
Oh no, not that one. That's
The police responded to a call at 8:38 p.m. Saturday after someone phoned in a report of a disabled bus at Red Hill Road and Hanover Street near New Oxford.
Wait a second. Okay. So the bus
Yes.
was
They have
in
a
town.
disused bus. It's on Red Hill Road and Hanover Street near New Oxford.
Okay, so it's just outside of town, probably.
Mhm.
Is that where that is? And these animals are on the bus
And in the trailer behind,
and the trailer behind. So that's where the bull and the horse are.
possibly. It doesn't say.
And are the people in the bus?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a disabled bus, and then this is what they find.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's the most horrifying. Oh, there's a picture. Thank God.
Well, there's a picture. So I was
It's just of the
disturbed
bus.
by the picture that they show because it's of the horse and the bull, and I was like,
Oh,
"What the hell is
Jesus.
happening?" But what it is of them romping around playing.
Some more
This episode's getting pulled, bro.
I know. That's disgusting. That bus is so filthy. Oh my God, the smell in that place had
That's
to
what
be.
alerted them to there was something more going on.
Oh my God. I'll tell you something, man.
Why'd they put a picture of the horse and the bull in the newspaper?
Because they're trying to show that they're having fun and frolicking now, but that's not what it looked like
okay.
on first glance. So it was not. It was a poorly chosen photo.
Oh my God.
But anyway,
All right, well,
so
so-
Gettysburg, well, not Gettysburg, but Adams County is in the news again for this, and it's horrific.
Well, Adams
and-
County is in the news again, but this is a guy from West Virginia.
Yes.
Right. So let's just it's not an Adams County
No,
guy.
no.
He just happened to be passing
Passing
through
through.
and his bus disabled.
Did he have a wheelbarrow also?
He did. That's how he brought his wife over the threshold in a wheelbarrow. That's what they do.
It's one of those things where, like, of course, when you see it, it's making national news. But when you see it,
I bet it is.
Being talked about, of course, it says like Gettysburg. You know.
Well, yeah, of course.
So it makes us look really super awesome.
Yeah. Well, they got you.
Oh, shit.
Tell us about it, Cam.
No.
On a plus side,
I got it.
the Fairfield Area School District is trying to implement a mental health curriculum for their students to teach about the importance of healthy relationships.
My truck's there sitting.
As well as to give the students a place to receive mental health help. I think that's wonderful.
All right, that's
Oh,
good.
there's a swamp dragon.
It's sad though that we're in a time where that's so necessary.
I think we're always in a time in which that is so necessary. We just are now more
I don't
aware.
think
I
so
think
either.
it's worse now.
I don't think so either.
Yeah,
I
I think the stupid phones make it so that it creates mental illness.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that is true.
Yeah.
Also, we live in the cushiest times, and that's when things go bad
Right.
mentally because
You have
there's
nothing
no
to strive
There's
for.
no threat either. Like you have nothing to worry about besides
Right.
internal.
Yeah, remember when Jeff Shower was in here last week and he was talking about the Cold War and hiding under your desk and all that stuff? Yeah. We got nothing like that. I didn't have to hide under my desks. And that tells me that they didn't care about us because I was in school at the end of the Cold War. There was still the threat.
They
So
knew
they
it
said,
wasn't helpful by then.
I think a desk
Sorry.
is all you need to
I
protect
need
against
some
nuclear attack.
little ground top.
Yeah, you do. When you're dragging ass out of bed, join me. The
Or
kids are in your head.
At a podcast when you're starving.
Yeah, let's get to food here, okay?
And you think
Let's-
of the
I
20th.
think we're on to events.
And you
Or
think
do you have more news?
No news.
Oh.
More just events.
Events. It's time for events.
Okay, what else you got?
Events.
All right, so we are on to events. So I already had the Fridays on the Ridge on my list, so I'll just start with that. But
Okay.
there's Fridays on the Ridge, which is
Bonfire.
This week is an evening with Stephen A. Goldman, MD. It's at the Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center at 6:30 p.m. So be sure to check that out.
I'm trying.
Also, the 87th Gettysburg Bluegrass Festival revealed their lineup. That's August 15th to 18th because they do 2 a year. So that's at the Granite Hill Camping Resort. You can check that out. They just did post it on Facebook. So check that out if you are interested. I know you are always interested,
Oh, yeah.
but you never get to go.
I'd go to that with you, dude.
Yeah.
That'd be a good time.
It would.
Be a good time. I just like the way you said that. Be a good
Here
time.
we go again.
I did want to bring up that the event that we were talking about last week with Jeff about the battle hymn with Stephen Lang, we're getting down to the last couple tickets. So if you want to go,
there you go. But how do they get a hold of them?
So you can either go
now the last couple tickets for purchase, but you have set aside a couple for me, right?
No.
Okay. Thank
you.
Okay.
Okay.
You're sitting up top. The only way you can go is if you work.
Bring a chair and stand in the back.
If you work.
Oh,
You're a
well,
volunteer.
what do you need?
I need somebody to keep me sane.
All right, Cindy.
Okay.
And then
Matt and I will keep you insane.
Yeah. In the membrane. Okay, please, can we just get to dinner?
Oh my gosh. Wedding Planning with a View event is at the Hauser Hill Event Center, which is hosted by Festive Board Catering. It's this Sunday, June 23rd from 12 to 3 p.m. You can check Facebook. It is a free event. It's a beautiful place from what I hear. I have not been.
Very nice.
Yes, they also do like crepes and coffee sometimes with
crepes.
the Cottage Creperie goes up there and makes them. So yeah.
There's
check
all
out their
kinds of
Facebook
wise
page. They have a
tales
lot of
out
things
there.
Highly.
And that's up at
recommend
Hauser?
grapes.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
Very nice.
So I just, as a shout out to the national park, their stuff is moving and a shaking. You want to go to their website. They have their ranger programs going on all the time now, as well as their full slate of daily programs outside of the visitor center. They also have their living history going on. They're just literally, I don't know when they sleep. So definitely pay attention to those because it's a full cadre of programs. Also the David
Also
Wills
Beaver
House.
Lake. You could check out Beaver Lake. Can you go fishing there yet? So I saw somebody had a
Somebody did
picture
see a
of
picture
of
a-
what?
You probably need a permit.
We need a fishing permit for the state of Pennsylvania.
You do.
Eisenhower house tours are open on weekends as well. First come, first served for several tour dates or tour times throughout the day. And you can drive out there now, so that's really nice. And they also have their ranger programs in full swing. So check out both the nps.gov/GETT for Gettysburg and then nps.gov/EISE for Eisenhower's event calendar.
Okay.
This Saturday, 6/22, from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., the Antique and Vintage Outdoor Market and Store Sale is at Rebel's Roost, 1863 Gettysburg Village Drive, Suite 330. So you can check that out. They're having their in-store sale all day long, but the outdoor part is from 8 to 2.
Chattanooga.
I'm supposed to bring up that the George Spangler Farm and Field Hospital will not be open this weekend for their regularly scheduled programming due to the heat. They have decided to close the farm for this weekend.
Oh, because of the heat.
The heat.
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Also this Saturday, 6/22, from 5:30 p.m. to 7:15 p.m. is Night at the Museum 1863. It's at the Gettysburg Heritage Center, 297 Steinway Ave in Gettysburg. Tickets are $20. You can get them at gettysburgmuseumstore.com. Also, from 9 a.m. on 6/22, which is Saturday, until 4 p.m. on Sunday, 6/23, the 87th PA will have a living encampment in front of the Gettysburg Heritage Center, so that will be on site as well.
I
If you
could
wanna check
house that
out.
loaf.
Yeah, I could right now. The double-decker bus tours are going to be running for Battlefield Tours this weekend.
Yes.
They start at 4 p.m., so you can kind of
Sunset tours.
This isn't a sunset tour.
Oh no, I met with Max today and I asked him, I said, when do you do the sunset tours? He says every Saturday. Every Saturday.
Every Saturday.
well,
the
they
ones
only
I'm
did
talking about are just the double-decker ones.
Double deckers.
The
By the
sunset
way-
ones sell out pretty quick.
By the way, we were talking, inevitably, we don't know when. Nobody knows when. But someday they're going to open Little Round Top again. And it's going to be a mad rush.
It's going to be great. is
Right?
what
No,
it's
I'm
gonna
saying,
be.
but it's going to be a mad rush for people to
Yeah.
go. Everybody's going to want to go and see it. Here's the thing. This is what you should do, folks. Because it's going to be crazy for at least a couple months. The summer, it's going to be on the weekends, right? To avoid, because there are fewer, I believe, car spots now.
No. Well, there are the same number of parking spots.
Okay. There's fewer approved parking spots. We used to make our own parking spots on the side of the road, but there's a curb now. You can't do that. So there are fewer places for cars to park, right? It's the same amount of allotted parking spaces as before, but less places to park for people who are used to parking anywhere, right? Correct. Okay, so which means we're going to be doing a lot of circling around to get that parking space, unless you take a bus tour, ladies and gentlemen.
That is true.
You take a bus tour. Now, this is for during the day. You want to go at 6 a.m. when it opens up and everything, nobody's there, you shouldn't have a problem. You want to go as sunset's coming? I think sunset, you'll have a problem because people love to see the sunset up there. But during the day, you want to avoid that. Take a bus tour. You need a tour of the battlefield anyway. So you take a bus tour, and then they stop there and they get you off, and the guide takes you out. So you'll get to see it. Will you get to spend hours there exploring? No, but at least you'll get to see it without spending hours driving in circles waiting for a parking space.
Or you do the Bethany approved version of tourism in Gettysburg, and you wait until it's colder.
Yeah.
And then you have the place to yourself.
Or Wednesday. Because nobody's here on Wednesday.
Oh, people are here.
Well, not enough to make a difference. So, definitely cold weather. Also, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you, August and September, early September.
On the call?
Yeah, I was going to get to her at the end of the thing. So August, tell her call next week because we're hungry. August and September, it really right after Bike Week, it dies here until about October. So that's like the winter of the summer as far as nobody being around is mid-July to mid-September, and then it starts picking up again. So that's a time to come down as well and avoid the crowds if you have to come on a weekend. Don't do it in July when everybody else does.
One, it's just so hot. It's
really
hot
but
outside.
it's also everybody's here.
And if
why do you want to sit in that?
In like October and November, February, even better. You can see across the battlefield. There's no leaves on the trees.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. You
Right.
have the place to yourself. You're not sweating to death.
True.
I freaking hate summer. This is my least
summer.
favorite season
I
of all
love it.
time.
I love it. It's
But
the best.
I'm a fat woman, so I have all this blubber that keeps me insulated.
Well, maybe if you didn't wear sweaters.
Yeah, what are you doing wearing a sweater?
Exactly.
Hey, come on, bro.
Yeah, brah.
Brah. You're not better than
Brah,
that,
come
brah.
on. Don't wear a sweater, brah. All right.
So
what else?
As a reminder, we also have a buy one, get one half off sale
A BOGO.
going on t-shirts.
On the t-shirt store. We still have that going.
AG Cutlery. It is going until July 3rd. So
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful.
The
end
code
of the
is
battle is the end of the end of the sale.
The code is AGBOGO24, AGBOGO24. But I will say it does automatically add to your cart when you put a t-shirt in there, so you should be fine. You shouldn't have to do anything additional, but add a second t-shirt. So
There you go. Buy one, get one.
Yes. Last thing. The Pete, when he was here, he gave me a list of the programs
events.
for the battle anniversary.
Yes, and
they have a ton of stuff.
They do. A lot of good stuff going on over there at the Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center. And by the way, let me say, Pete's last day is June 30th. The 29th, they're showing the movie Gettysburg at, you got the details in there? On June 29th?
June 29th. Hold on.
So go to June 29th. What does it say?
Outdoor screening of the movie Gettysburg. Free.
Yep. Free.
8 p.m.
8 p.m. till 3 in the morning.
Runtime 4 hours, 31 minutes.
Kufa.
Meet at the Hill Unger Performance Pavilion near intersections of Springs Avenue and...
something.
And what? It doesn't
All
say.
it says.
Well, you'll see where everybody is. It's where the big screen is going to be. But, come out to that. It'll be a lot of fun. Pete and I were talking. I'm gonna introduce him, and he's going to give his farewell address, like McClellan did in Warrenton, Virginia.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yes, and so come on out, watch the movie with us. It'll be fun. I think Bo will be there as well.
Sure.
It'll be a fun time. For all.
Yes. They also
And
have
we
a
can
lot.
say goodbye to Peter.
Yes. They also
And also, the 28th, there's some kind of dinner.
Sold out.
Sold out. Never mind then.
Yeah.
On the Eve of Battle dinner, catered by Ragged Edge, inspired by authentic Civil War recipes.
Amazing.
And featuring a special guest lecture by Dr. Jennifer
Jen Murray.
Oh, I didn't know Jenny's going to be there. All
That's
right.
That's why I wanted to go. Besides Ragged Edge And Jennifer's
Food.
going to be there.
And
Well,
food.
great.
Well, the food. And
Well, then we'll tell you guys
Like
how it
that
was since it's sold out.
Yeah.
I'm sponsoring it, so I get to go.
He's not taking you?
I asked him to take me.
I said, listen, I want one frickin' night just by myself. No, she's coming. What are you, nuts? I got two. I said, I want two
Rude.
people. I'll sponsor it. 2 people coming.
Okay, so I just want to point out one of the things that
Go
they're
ahead.
doing are these interactive children's programs
Yes.
throughout the day. It looks like on a couple days.
Yes,
The main one being on the
Right?
30th,
Keep it going.
looks like.
Yep. Okay.
But they have life in a cavalry camp for
Oh,
kids,
that's
Civil
neat. What?
War
Oh, can I
Signal
do it?
Corps, Mending the Wounded, and the Eve of Battle. Oh,
That
that's a
actually
real-time walking tour.
Sounds like a lot of fun, the cavalry camp.
I know. What a great idea.
Yeah, it is a great idea.
Can I do it?
Can I be in the cavalry camp?
Did I do that?
Oh my gosh. So that's all I have.
All right. Well, listen, if you guys listening now are patrons, I encourage you to go over to your Patreon account, because when we end this feed, we're going to start a new one over there. It's what is it? $3 members and up. You'll get to. It's just a little fun that we're having at our own expense. But we do encourage you to keep your eyes open for when that becomes live. And then we're going to go to dinner. Peter Zach sent in something that I think will make it easier for us to decide where to go to dinner. I haven't put it together yet, but I'll unveil it next week on the show, and we can use it for the very first time, okay?
God, I love it.
Yeah, it's. I think you're going to like
Please
it.
take all the decision-making away from us.
Yes. Yeah. No, and this is totally random. This the way this works, and it's going to
love
be a
it.
lot of fun. Yep.
We have jobs in which we make decisions all day long.
I know. I'm sick of making. Well, and that's what I said. I was like, I'm sick of making decisions. You for one, somebody tell me what to do, and you guys decide where to go to dinner, and you guys go, okay. So we narrowed it down to. I'm like, no. You tell me where. You decide. Nobody can do it.
A lot of wah.
Shut your
I know, Matt. You were
face.
talking about all the, the lack of testosterone. I get the most of that coming off of you right now, buddy.
Well, because you're in the room with other guys, and I'm back here sniffing estrogen. What do you want?
Just over there crying.
Okay,
Bethany, I'm glad that
my nipples are sore. Leave me alone, Colby.
No, this room is a better room to be in right now.
Okay, so listen, you guys, if you're patrons, head over to Patreon. We'll see you in a couple of minutes. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you to Scott English for coming on. I cannot wait for my nervous breakdown on July 5th. It's going to be fun. I'll finally get some rest. And until then, we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
AG Today's opening theme is written and performed by Colin Southfield and the Mushroom Country Band. Bumper music is arranged and performed by Billy Webster and sometimes Kevin McLeod. AG Today is produced by Matt Cowlery, Bethany Yingling, Debbie Jones, and Cindy Compton. Engineered by Colby Sumner and maybe sometimes someone else. Guest accommodations are provided by the guests themselves. We'll need a couple thousand patrons to be able to put people up in hotels. Speaking of patrons, maybe you'd like to become one. You'll find plenty of perks over there, not to mention hundreds of episodes that will help you further your Gettysburg and Civil War education. So go to patreon.com/Addressing Gettysburg. I'm Huevos Grande, the voice of Addressing Gettysburg. Thanks for listening.
Resistance was in vain while we were marching through Georgia. The mayor will the flag that makes you
Oh, wow. The Bawa? Yeah, right, yeah.
I got it. I'm afraid. Yeah, hypothesis. Now, this is just a hypothesis.
This concludes our broadcast day.
I have a hard time with names sometimes. Well,